All right. So I created this course, this free guide right here, to literally help you. Like, my mission is to cause impact. Impact in a way where it will help you financially. Like, just because this is free, I want you to take this with all seriousness. Like, building an e-commerce store, building an online store, an e-commerce brand can literally change your life. And I want you to be able to see the same results that I've been able to see as well. And I know it's not easy. There's plenty of videos that's out there. There's plenty different guides and free courses that's out there. But I wanted to at least do my part, being that I am in the e-commerce space as well. I want to be able to give back to people, so you could be able to at least get some value, to not only learn how to find a product, not only learn how to build a store, but to actually be able to bring in some sales. Now, listen, guys, I know some of you guys may not know me. I go by the name of Keyz. I've been doing e-commerce for the past 8 years now. And like I said, I want to cause impact. Just because this course is free doesn't mean that you shouldn't take it seriously. Now, of course, like I said, some of you guys may not know me. Right now, I'm sharing my screen just so you could see. I'm just going to share one or two brands just to kind of give you guys some reassurance, or like, who is this guy? Is he real? So this is literally a brand that we built up. We started this brand back in April. April 8th, I believe, we launched it. This was the first sell, and just so in case you're thinking that I'm lying, I'm going to show you from April 1st up until that time, 0 sales, right? And just to make it even clearer, from March up until this time, 0 sales. We literally launched this brand on April 8th. So within the first 3 weeks, basically, of launching this store, we did about $7,900 in sales. And from April 8th up until November the 14th, the store has done over $300,000. And we're getting ready to start scaling the store back up to possibly end up ending off the year at maybe close to $500,000. I'm gonna show you one more brand, and then we're gonna get straight to the point. Okay, here's another brand, just so you could see that this is not the same brand that I showed you before. We're gonna go to April 8th as well, just so you could see that, like I said, this is not the same brand. April 8th. Remember the last store, we only did $45. This store, as you could see, it was $1,000 and change. Just so I could show you the difference, from March 1st up until April 7th. This store did $47,000. And being that this is not a new brand, this brand has been around for the past 3-4 years now. But just to show you guys that, like I said, I'm not a newbie to this. I've been doing this for a while. This is just one of our small brands, believe it or not. This store has done about $246,000 in sales for this year. In total, when it comes to sales, the store has been around for about 3-4 years now. We did over I think it's like 1.3 mil. Like I said, I'm just showing you guys some results just in case you need some type of reassurance, like, okay, this guy knows what he's talking about. He knows what he's doing. But going back to everything, I want you guys to take this with all seriousness. It's a free course. You will literally be able to know how to build a store all the way down to how to sell your products. Take your notes, take everything inside of this very seriously. Now, of course, everything inside of here, this is not like the complete, because you're going to need to learn more things as you go. This is just enough information to at least get you going and at least be able to see some type of results. So I want to let you know that, listen, there's always going to be more tools and resources that you might need access to. There's going to be more things that you will need to learn on how to do. But at least this can be your stepping stone. So I don't want you to think that, this has everything that you're looking for. This has the necessary things that you need in order for you to get things rolling, but there's still going to be a lot more stuff to learn. There's still going to be, some more help that you might need, but at least this can still get you somewhere versus making you feel like you're lost. You understand? So guys, check out the course, go through the course. Also in the description area, I'm going to have different information or different resources that you can either access, or different stuff that we do offer inside of the description area. But like I said, guys, this right here, this free information that I'm giving you guys right here is valuable. You'll see for yourself. And honestly, the exchange that I really want from you guys from checking out this course is reaching out to me and letting me know what is your results, the impact that it has caused for you. Because honestly, that is the main objective right here. So take this seriously, and let's get things going. Mindset. This section right here, this video right here, guys, I want you guys to take it with all seriousness, because like I always say, that there's 5 steps, or there's 5 keys to success. The number 1 is you must believe, acquire the information, execute, discipline, and be relentless. Let's start with number 1, which is believe. And this is this section right here. You have to believe. Now, I don't know if you've done other courses before, if you're coming from another coaching, or maybe you watch tons of YouTube videos. The mindset is the foundation of your business. The mindset is the foundation of anything you do in life. If you don't have the proper mindset especially entering the world of entrepreneurship, then you may not, or the chances of you seeing success is very slim. Why? Because you'll find yourself giving up easily. You'll find yourself no longer really wanting to do this. This is just something passive. I don't care. But the people with the right foundation are the ones that's not going to give up. The people with the right foundation, even if they don't get the results that they're trying to get, they're going to keep on pushing hard until they get that result. The people with the right foundation are going to really take every single piece of information that they're taking into practice. And they're going to keep on finding out why isn't working for them at the moment. Because the information is clearly working, but why isn't it working for them? We have no room for excuses. Now, I want to truly ask yourself, what? First of all, why do I want a successful e-commerce brand? Why do I want a successful store? Right? Now, for many of you, it may be the obvious, and it's okay if it's the obvious. I just want more money. I want to have more money, right? But I want you to also think of, what if this doesn't work, right? If this doesn't work, or if you don't see the results when you truly want to see it, do you feel like there's a plan B? Do you feel like you're going to just say, I'm going to go just do my 9 to 5? Because if you have that mindset already, if this doesn't work, then I'll just stick to what I know, then you're not going to get the results. Entering this right now, I need you to have the mindset of, if I don't see the results that I want to get, or that I want to see, I'm going to work harder until I get the results that I want to see. That's how you should be entering this right now. We have no room for plan Bs. We have no room for excuses. You're going to make this work. Now, also understand, this thing is not going to happen overnight. Now, I don't want you to get confused with other information that you see out there. You might see videos, YouTube videos, where someone show you how they created a store within 24 hours, and by the next week they already had $5,000 in their store. Or they created a store and they did $1 million in one day. Now, not saying those things are impossible. It's possible. I've seen it for myself. I've seen it for clients. But don't go based on what you see out there. When you're watching YouTube videos, when you're watching Instagram posts, when you're watching these social media stuff, remember, the people who are sharing their results are the 3%. Remember that. The people who are sharing their results are the 3%. So that means, where's the rest of the 97? Watching the 3%. The 97% are not showing how their store fell. Remember that. So I don't want you to think that this thing is going to happen overnight. It's possible, but if you don't see the results that you want to see within a week or within 2 weeks, it doesn't happen like that. Just because it's an online business doesn't mean it requires minimum work. You need to look at an online business as if it's a physical business. The same time and effort, the energy, the blood, sweat, and tears that you have to put into a physical business is the same thing that you need to do when it comes to an online business. So please erase all of those fairy tales, whatever it is that you watch on social media. Like I always say, this is not hard. You're gonna get the results. This is going to be life-changing. But at the same time, it's not easy. Don't put your expectations where it's like, I'm gonna make $100,000 within these next 5 days. Listen, it's not gonna be as smooth as you want it to. But I guarantee you, if you stick through the fire, you're gonna get the results that you're looking for. But you have to have the right mindset. The mindset of, I'm not going to give up until this works. Okay? My budget is running low. My funds is running low. Okay, we need to figure out how to re-up so we could get back into the game, because I'm not giving up until this works. You understand? Like, for some of you guys, maybe based on your circumstances, this is the only option. Maybe this is the only option for you. You understand? And don't worry, we're going to equip you with all the resources, all the tools that you need in order to make this work. And for some of you guys, maybe you're looking at this like, you know what? I'm just trying to make extra money. Nah, do not treat this as an extra money thing. Because if you're treating it as if it's an extra money thing, then that's the type of effort you're going to give to it. You want to get the best out of this stuff. If you got to start reading books, that's going to help you have much more of a positive mindset so you could believe within yourself, right? If you got to start eliminating some of the friends that surround you that's going to say things that's going to make you feel a little scared or make you feel discouraged for what you're currently doing right now, be very mindful of what you're watching. Be very mindful of what you're listening to. These are things that you have to be intentional about. The mindset is the most powerful thing. This is what is going to separate you from the 97%. If you have the right mindset entering this right here, you're going to succeed. Don't put any time limit to it. Just work. Be disciplined. Be relentless. Execute. We're giving you the information, and all you have to do is believe. Mindset. All right, so this video right here, I want to talk about something that's very important that you don't hear too many people even cover, even within their course, is capital, money. You need money. You're going to need money somewhere along this e-commerce journey. Now, I know maybe most of you are in this academy, most of you are in this program, most of you guys are in this community because maybe you're short on money, or maybe life is lifing the way it is, or maybe this is just something that you really want to do. But the whole goal behind it is that you want to make money. Now, I don't know why that when people think of e-commerce or building an online store or just having an online business, a lot of people think that it doesn't really require you to have money. Like, a lot of people think that if I just have a few hundreds of dollars, I can make hundreds of thousands of dollars. I can make millions of dollars. Some people even think that they can create a store for $5 and end up out of nowhere just from a few posts on Instagram or TikTok or some YouTube shorts. They're praying that a video just goes viral out of nowhere and immediately their life has changed. I'm gonna tell you right now, if life was like that in this e-commerce space, so many people would be out here rich. But guess what? The average reason why the newbie usually gives up, or why they take a pause, or why they end up taking a break, or why they end up saying, oh, this guru right here doesn't really know what they're doing, or I'm saying like, oh, this person is fake. The common reason, guys, I've been doing this for the last 8 years. The common reason, it all leads back to money. Even for the people who have experience and for some reason their business is still not flourishing, it's usually because they don't have access to money, or it's limited, or maybe they don't have it at all. So how can we get access to money where we won't have too much of an excuse of why our business cannot flourish? Remember what I told you. I don't want you to feel like this is a rat race, because it's not. We're building long-term businesses. So it's going to take a step at a time, right? And I'm going to tell you right now, the less money you have, the longer it will take. This is just me being real. I could have came on here and made things sound so super easy. No, not saying that it's super hard either. But I want you to understand the seriousness of building a business. I don't care if you're selling drop shipping products or you're trying to go the trendy route, whatever it is. Even if you're trying to just look for the hot product to sell right now, regardless, you're still going to need money. So how can you get access to money? You need to fix your credit. Or if you do have credit, good credit. And when I'm talking about if you do have good credit to me is someone who have a 720 credit score and up, or above 700. If you have above 700, you're looking good. If you have below 700, I mean like 650, 6, 550, 5, 4, 3. If you're in that danger zone, if you're below that, that means you need to get your credit together, right? But guess what? I know a lot of you guys who have bad credit is just either from bad mistakes. You didn't know any better back then, and now you're in a place of just trying to get your life together. And I already know for a lot of people, I don't want to say all, but for a lot of people, you have a misunderstanding about credit. I know some people who want to build a business and they say that they will never use credit. Like, it doesn't even, to be an entrepreneur and say that you will never use your credit is insane. It doesn't even make sense as a business person. No matter what, somewhere down the line, you're going to need access to capital. So this is what I want to help you guys with. Now, I don't do credit fixing and none of that. But like I said, I want you to be in a very good place to not have an excuse of why you cannot be successful in your e-commerce journey. If you are a person that has bad credit, like below 700, there's going to be a button below this video where you can book a free consultation call with one of our in-house credit repair person. They'll be able to look at your credit profile and be able to tell you, okay, what can be done and what cannot be done. And honestly, I don't think there's anything that cannot be done. There's always something that can be done, where it might not even require you to either pay back whatever you're behind on, or they can literally remove your debt. Literally start off fresh or remove what needs to be removed, so they can help structure your credit profile so you can be able to not only have good personal credit, but the goal is to fix your personal credit and use the personal credit to help you establish business credit. Because now when you get business credit, even if you get access to 25K, 100K, 150K, 200K, once you get access to those funds, if you're behind on a payment, if you miss it, whatever it is, it's not going to affect your personal credit. Remember, the credit or the funding that you're trying to get access to is to build a business that is going to give you back funds. This is not money that you're getting access to where you're going to spend it on clothes and you're never going to get money again, so therefore you're in a deficit. No, you're getting access to funds where you'll be able to build your business on. So there won't be any excuse on why you cannot run ads, why you cannot get better branding, why you cannot build a team. There will be zero excuse. Right now, some of the people that we're working with, especially for the people who have good credit, if you're a person who has 720 and above and you're watching this video, like literally the same people that we have within our team, within the credit repair team, they can literally help you secure anywhere between 25 to 150K in business credit. I'm gonna say it again. 25 to 150K in business credit. So that means even if you don't even leave this academy making money in your store, imagine you leaving the academy with an extra 25K to 150K in funding. That's already a win. That right there, you already made your money back and more, right? Now, there is a disclaimer. Our in-house credit repair guy, they do charge a fee, but I can almost guarantee you it's nothing compared to the amount of money that you probably owe, or it's nothing compared to the amount of money that you can receive for funding. Now, I really, like, if you are a person that's stuck, and like I said, the free consultation call, they're not going to take any money from you. It's just to look at your credit profile, see what can be done, give you your options, and then you'll go from there. But I want you to take it serious. So book that call, please, because I already know what is going to be the common reasons why either some of you guys end up going ghost, why you either end up taking a break, either saying this is not working for me, whatever it is, it's usually going to go back to money. So please book the call. Good credit, bad credit, let them help you fix your profile, let them help you get your stuff together so you can eventually be able to access the funding as you're currently working on your store. So I'm not trying to say that you have to have good credit or capital before you start working on it. That's not what I'm trying to say. You can still actively work on your business, but knowing that at the same time you're actively working on getting your stuff together so you can be able to access that additional funding and having a good credit. There's no reason why you're 25, 30 years old, 30 plus, and your credit is all over the place. And don't worry, don't feel embarrassed. Like I said, we all make mistakes. Some people didn't know, whatever it is. This is what our credit repair person do. So please feel like you have a safe place. Don't lie to yourself. Don't say, oh, I'm going to do it myself. You've been trying to do it yourself for the past year now. Like, reach out to them, book the call. You won't regret it. All right? All right. Let's get down to business. All right. We're about to get into product research. Now, this is very important because you might know what niche you want to jump into. And maybe you have an idea of the product, or maybe you don't know what product to sell. So what we're going to do here is show you some tips and tricks on how to do some product research, but not just doing product research, but this is also helping you understand your marketplace. Now, when it comes to selling a product, no matter what product it is, you need to learn how to communicate with the potential clients or potential customers that you're selling to. Every niche that you in speaks a different language. Remember that. Every niche or niche, you're going to hear me say niche or niche as we go, but every one of them speaks a different language. And some people can't make sales because they don't know how to speak that marketplace language, right? So not only are we going to be showing you guys how to do some product research, but we're going to do some ninja tricks on how to not only find good products, but how to market to the customers that we're trying to sell to. So let's dive into the computer. I'm inside the computer right now, and I want to show you guys some like ninja-like tricks that you can do to definitely get some good product ideas. And not only just product ideas, but you guys are also going to be able to understand what I mean by market intelligence. So with the market intelligence is basically going to give us an idea of how our audience kind of want us to communicate with them. And the way how we figured that out is based on the people who are already selling the products that we want to sell, or products that's similar to what we're trying to sell, because they already are targeting our audience, they're targeting our potential customers. And clearly, I mean, from what I'm going to show you is going to show that their ads are working. So we're not only going to use this to give us an idea of what products to sell, but we're also using this in a way so we can kind of like spy and kind of get a better understanding on how we should like communicate with our potential customers. So right now we're on TikTok. This is TikTok. This is called their Creative Center. Don't worry, below this video, you guys will have a direct link that's going to send you straight to this page. I believe in order for you to get access to this, you will have to create a TikTok, which I strongly recommend that you create a TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, create a lot of these social media accounts, because these are different platforms you're going to have as an option to run ads on. So remember, especially when it comes to your brand awareness, I mean, I don't want to get too much into marketing right now. We're going to have a session just for that, but just know that you need to have these accounts. So what we're going to do here, so inside of this Creative Center, we get a chance to see some of the top ads based on the industry, the region, the campaign objectives, and so on. So what we're going to do for us to see what products are possibly doing good, first we're going to go to this region section. And of course, we're in the United States. So we're going to put United States. Now, the thing is, when you're creating a TikTok ad, they actually give you the option if you want your ad to show up on this page, which I highly recommend. Don't do that. And I'm gonna show you about TikTok ads later on, but yeah, don't do that, because you don't want people to end up seeing your ads and they might end up copycatting your video that is bringing a lot of conversions for you, which will end up interfering with the amount of conversions you can end up making, because this person is, stealing your content ideas. Just know that that's normal. That's typical in this e-commerce world. You're gonna see that a lot, because you're gonna be doing it too. So we put United States. What industry? Now, this is based on what type of products do you want to sell, or like, do you want to sell appliances type of products? Do you want to sell, just look at these categories as if it's categories of different niches. Let's go to beauty and personal care. As you can see, there's different sections, or we could say there's different like sub niches to that, right? We got wig and hairstyle, we got hair care, we got skin care, oral care, feminine care. There's so much different types of niches within that, right? So now this is where you're going to pick and choose like, okay, I want to do something within the hair care. Let me see what type of products is over there, right? So we're going to do hair care. The next thing we're going to do, we're going to come over here where it says campaign objective. We're going to put it for conversions. The reason why we're putting it for conversions is so TikTok can filter out the people who are actually running these ads for like purchase conversions, right? Because those are the people who's looking for people to actually buy their products. So those are the ads that they're going to show us. Now, all of these are ads. Now, remember, we put it for hair care. Actually, I wanted to put skincare. Let's put skincare. We're going to do skincare. And as you can see, there's so much different type of products within the skincare. There's soap. As you can see, some people have like oils or serums and stuff. Now, this is like, as you're going through here, of course, some of these products are already branded, right? But that doesn't mean that you cannot create something as similar, or you cannot find a vendor online that is selling oil or whatever it is, what other product you see here that, you can possibly sell. So let's say, for example, if we wanted to do some type of organic soaps, or maybe you're into creating some type of oil and stuff, right? So this is what I would usually do. I would actually like play a video. Let's go back to the top where I think I seen a lady with like a oil, right? So we're gonna let this play. And plus, as you can see, as soon as you click on it, this is the beauty of this too. As soon as you click on it, it shows you how much likes this already got, how much comments, how much shares. Look at this, 297 shares. That only means that this video is working, right? Now, when it comes to the amount of likes and comments and stuff, what you should look for, honestly, if this only has a few hundreds and this don't really have comments and this probably have like 1 or 2 shares, then of course it's not good. But if we're looking at like thousands, double-digit comments, triple-digit shares, that only means that this video is doing pretty good. So this is the part where I said that this is the market intelligence part, right? So you're going to find yourself reverse engineering a lot of content, a lot of ads. Like the one thing that I recommend for you, and write this down as you're listening to this, you have to create a list of 5 to 10 competitors that's within your niche. And when I say create a list, I'm talking about like if down to their social media account, like copy that down, their website, find out what's their website. Like you want to have 5 to 10 different competitors because you want to be ahead of the game based on what your competitors are doing. And not only that, the beauty part in it is that your competitors sometimes do the hard work for you. And it's going to make more sense later on. But I just want to let you know this because this is another thing that is going to get you familiarized with how you're supposed to be communicating with your audience in that specific marketplace that you're trying to attack. So I would really pay attention to this type of video, right? And don't worry, we're going to talk about ad stuff later, but take notes of that, all right? So as we're going through, like I said, there's different type of hair, facial products. This is where you can get your idea. Remember, you're building a brand. You're not here just trying to find a get rich quick thing, after a month, of running ads or whatever it is. You're just trying to make a few, like you're building a brand. So this is to give you product ideas. What product should I commit to? What is something that I feel like I can work on to make it great in the marketplace that I'm getting ready to get into? Is it soaps? Is it candles? You know, there's different type of products. Over to the Facebook ad library. Now I'm going to give you guys the link below this video so you guys will be able to get to this site as well. Now with the Facebook ad library, if I'm not mistaken, I don't think you need to be logged into your Facebook account, but things may change depending on when you're watching this video. So just if this link doesn't work, just type this into Google. You're gonna find it, Facebook ad library. So it's almost the same thing as TikTok. Is not that difference. You put what region you in. When it comes to ad category, we're gonna put that we're looking for all ads. So let me refresh this page. We're gonna put that we're looking for all ads. I think it's gonna ask us maybe like it's not gonna be the same categories as TikTok, but let's see. Okay, so we'll click on where it says all ads. Now the same thing as before. Let's say, for example, if you're looking for health and beauty products, or if you have some stuff in your mind, as you can see, I had hair oil inside of here. So let's put in hair oil. And okay, so now I want you to understand something. With TikTok, right? When I say, when you hear me say market intelligence, right? And I mention how, you know, you want to reverse engineer the stuff that's working and everything, right? So as you can see, TikTok clearly is a different platform. So therefore, the ads, the content that you're going to create for your TikTok is going to be different from what you're going to create for your Instagram, right? Because it's two different platforms, and both of them communicate differently to the audiences that's on that platform. So Facebook is where you basically will reverse engineer as well, right? And finding ads that's doing good and finding, you know, creating that list of competitors. It could come anywhere between from TikTok or Facebook, right? And there's going to be other product research stuff that we're going to add into this as we go. But when it comes to Facebook, like I said, they communicate different. So when we come here inside the ad section, we want to look at some of the ads that is selling products that is similar to us. And then even going deeper to see if the ad is doing good. Now, just from looking at this right now, I'm scrolling through here. This hair company right here is called Hair 10X Growth Oil, right? They have 12,261 likes. And this is their website right here. So one thing that I typically do when I find these big pages that have multiple ads, anytime you see like a page that have multiple ads like this, it either means that they're already selling, like they're definitely selling, and they're probably scaling their business. So I would literally come here,
if you want to grow longer, fuller, healthier hair,
play the videos. I will look at how they're creating their ads. Like, look at this. They're showing before and after results without literally writing before and after. It's just two different pictures, right? And another thing that you have to pay close attention to, especially when it comes to Instagram, to Facebook, is you want to pay attention to what they're writing in the comment section. Not comment section, inside of their caption. Because their caption is what's going to sell the person as well. So it's not just the content, but it's also the caption, which is known as your copy. This is your copy right here. What I would do is that I usually would probably copy and paste this on a notepad Not so I can copy word for word. We don't want to do that because you can get your ad flagged for using someone else's copy. But I would try to make my wording in the same type of format as theirs and test it out. As you can see, they have different ads, right? And they have different copies because not all of it is the same thing. Matter of fact, yeah, this is pretty much the same thing. It's just different content. And this is something else that we're going to learn when we start doing the marketing part. But as you can see, it's literally 3 different content. All of them have the same copy. Five different content. And all of them have the same copy. And there's a reason why behind this too. But like I said, this alone already shows me that, okay, these people know what they're doing. They're probably scaling, right? So what I will also do is, just like I said, because I want to see what exactly, how this stuff look. I want to see how this store is set up. And remember, like I said, you're supposed to have about 5 to 10 different competitors. So this is where you can kind of just take notes of what's possibly working out there. So remember, like I mentioned, we're building a brand, right? And I know I keep on using hair oil as an example, but this is just so you guys can kind of build this habit of reminding yourself that this is not a rat race, We're not just trying to find that product and then, trying to make a quick little $100,000 before we move on to the next one. We're building a brand. I'm going to keep on pressing that throughout this whole thing. We're going to find a product that we're going to commit to based on our research, and we're going to build a brand out of it. So this person right here, it looks like they either have a Shopify store or maybe they're doing it from a ClickFunnels. I'm pretty confident that it is a Shopify store, but I'll come here and pay attention to everything, how their store set up. I pay attention to everything, all right? But this is just the market intelligence part that I'm talking about, right? When it comes to the products, like I said, you can fish around based on the niche that you want to jump into. Let's say, for example, if we was to go back over here, I was to put, let's say, kitchen product. Or we could put like kitchen gadgets or kitchen tools, like some of those keywords, just so we could see what type of stuff is going to pop up. A lot of this stuff is food at the moment, but I hope you kind of get what I'm trying to say. I mean, I wanted to show other tools, other products, but what I'm trying to say is that use the keywords so you could be able to find it there, and then look at their fan page, check out their website, so you could be able to see how they're marketing these products. Have your list of competitors so you could see how they're marketing these products, so you can know how to enter into the market itself too. Look at their copies. Look at the content that they're using. Really try to study the product that you're trying to make that official thing for your brand. Sometimes people say like, man, I don't know what product to sell. Pick a niche. I gave you some jump starts on niches, and now you can start putting into keywords what products you can sell and see what other people are doing so you could be able to do it too. All right, so in this section, we're going to dive really deep. We're getting into the branding. So of course, at this point, you probably already know what product you want to sell. You know who you want to sell it to. You know your marketplace. So now we need to come up with a name. We need to come up with a name that is going to represent your brand. Now, this part is easy, but it's a little difficult too, because this is going to take some creativity. They take some brainstorming for some. Maybe you're going to have to like really get things together in your mind so you can make this make sense. You may want to call a family meeting. I don't know. But this is something that you really need to take your time on, because the name that is going to represent your brand is what everybody's going to call your brand as, right? And the name is very important. Why? Because we need something that's going to stand out, or something that people are going to just remember, right? This is what's going to grab the attention of people. Now, like I said, you don't need to make it a crazy name. It doesn't need to be super unique, but we need to make sure that it is available to use. For example, like if you think that you're going to make a store name called electronicstore.com, the chances of you even finding that domain available is very slim. You understand? And then you also want to think of, is there any brand that's out there that already trademarked electronic store? So there's going to be some thinking into it, but I'm going to show you guys how we're going to kind of figure out, the name, what can help you kind of brainstorm with the name, or try to figure out if this name is available before you end up buying the domain. Because of course, once we have a name for the brand, now we need to buy a domain. Now the domain is going to be the address for your store. That's going to be at www.chriskeyz.com. My brand name is Chris Keyz. Or for some of you, maybe your brand name is Chris Keyz. We're just using Chris Keyz as an example. But chriskeyz.com is already taken. So you may have to do a chriskeyzstore.com or whatever. But like I said, we're going to figure it out. Look, the first thing is, of course, is making sure the name is not taken, and then being able to actually use the name. Now, not only we're going to brainstorm on the name, but I'm going to be showing you guys what can help you on trying to figure out what's the colors that's going to represent your brand. What is the logo you're going to use, so you could be able to have that to represent your brand as well. So we're going to go through some stuff inside the computer. I'm going to show you guys some sites, different resources that you can use to help you with the branding of right now. And like I said, this area right here, we're going to be trying to figure out our business name. Now, when it comes to the business name, remember, this is going to represent your brand. There's different type of ways that you can figure it out. Like I said, this is mainly for people who just don't know where to start. So this is a website where it can kind of help you. The name of this website is called Business Name Maker. Now, there's plenty of different websites that's similar to this, but this is just an example that I'm giving. So now let's say, for example, if I'm trying to think of a name, right? Well, I already have it here. Chris Keyz Oil. I keep on using oil as an example. Chris Keyz Oil, right? So, of course, it's going to give me a different list of names, but we could come here and actually put like what industry that we want to get into. Let's say if it's beauty, right? I'm going to type in beauty. So it's going to filter out some of the names. Some of the names honestly won't make any sense, but these are names that you can kind of look at. Like I said, something that you can feed off of. There's nothing wrong with using your name. It's just that I just don't want you to create like a store or a brand where it's going to say like something store.com or something store or whatever. We want to create like a name. And like I said, I don't want you to make this complicated, because honestly, you can find yourself brainstorming on this for months trying to find the right thing. But like I said, don't make it complicated. Okay. So we're going to go through here. As I said, you're going to find different types of names in here. Now, let's say, for example, if I were to say, let me move this out the way. Let's say if I wanted to use, let's say Oil Boho as the name. Let's say if that's the brand name that I want to use. The good thing is on this website is that it also show you if the name is available, right? It shows you if the domain name is available. So now let's say, for example, if I wanted the .com, and that's another thing to keep in mind. If you're going to get a domain, you want it to be a .com. Do not get .co. Do not get .net. Do not get .org. You want a .com. Why? Because .coms are more trustworthy. It gives you a professional look to your brand. The chances of you finding an established brand with a .co or .net is very slim. Majority of e-commerce stores end with .com. And if you are using whatever free website or whatever current website, like for example, right? Like Shopify, right? If you're hosting your store on Shopify, Shopify will give you a domain like whatever your store name is, .myshopify.com. Never. That just shows how unprofessional your brand is. You want your brand to look as trustworthy. Someone who goes to your website and see that you have a store name .myshopify.com, it already lets them know that you are not an established brand. It lets them know that you probably just somebody who's just trying to make some money, whatever. You want to come off as professional as possible. And it's not only because you're faking it, it's because you are professional, right? So like I said, you'll come here to see if the name is available. But let's go even further. So like I said, you can use business namemaker.com as a place where you can kind of get to the brainstorming of your name. And then after that, of course, seeing if that domain name is available, right? We're going to see if that domain name is available. So now the next thing that you want to do is see if this the trademark name, like, is this name already trademarked? Because remember, we're trying to establish a successful e-commerce brand. So that means while when the store ends up blowing up, we don't want to end up getting sued for the name of our store, right? So we also just want to make sure that the trademark is available. Now, this is what I'm going to say when it comes to the trademark. Do you have to trademark your name as soon as you get it? No. You don't have to do it immediately. But if you feel that you are not going to give up on this and you're going to make this work, then I strongly advise that you end up trademarking your name. You understand? This will officially be for you. Nobody can try to take this because it's for you. You are the owner of this name. So I think what we put, it was oil. It was oil boho. Now, of course, you want it to make sense while you're naming it, whatever you're naming it. Say oil boho. See, look at this. Immediately, I would change my name. Boho oil. It's too close to home. I wouldn't even do this. The fact that it has both of it in there, if we were to create, I mean, it shows that it's pending, but if we were to create the store and the store blows up, it can kind of interfere with whoever this store is for or this brand is for. So now we would have to go ahead and change that. But I just want you to use this. Now, this website that I'm using for the trademarks, every website that I'm going to talk about in here, all the links will be down below. But this website you're able to see if that trademark is available. So typically, whatever name that you put inside this text area over here, the name will show up on the first page if somebody already have that whole name available. As you can see, we were looking up oil boho. The first thing we see is boho oil. That's the closest thing to the name of the store. And as you can see, even next to it, to the right of it, it shows you the logos that's closely related to that too. So, I mean, of course, there's services where you can hire people where they can do this for you. But this is just kind of like the easiest route in case you're just trying to make sure that you have an established name before you start going ham and really building this brand. You don't want to end up having to change the name of your brand, as you already spent so much money into building that brand awareness where people already know you as Oil Boho, So use that. Now let's say, for example, we end up having our name for our store or the name for our brand. We have a domain. You can also start looking into creating a logo for your store. Now, I'm going to give you 3 different places where you can get logos. So the first place is going to be Fiverr.com. Fiverr.com, you're able to get logos at a reasonable price. But this is one thing that I'm going to say, is that you're going to get what you pay for. So that means if you pay $15 for a logo, you're going to get $15 quality. If you pay $100, but here's one thing. How about this? So when you get into Fiverr.com, the first thing that I usually recommend is we're going to go to over here where it says seller detail. Usually look for level 2 sellers. Look for level 2 sellers, right? Click apply. The reason why we want level 2 sellers is because these are people who are more experienced. Most likely they have a lot of reviews, as you can see, right? And of course, depending on the reviews, you can go ahead and check it out to see that if this is a person that you want to end up going with. Now, let's say, for example, if you don't want to do the $15 ones or the $10 vendors, you can go ahead and look for someone who's look like they're more established. As you can see, they have a branding studio. It costs $100, but I'll tell you right now, one of the things that I notice is that the people who charge a little bit more usually would give you better quality, right? They usually give you better quality, and they really do their research to make sure that the logo that they're creating for you doesn't interfere with someone else's brand. So that's something that you can also request. But is there a problem for you to start with a $10 logo? No, it's not. But remember, you pay, you get what you pay for. So this is a place where you can kind of come there and kind of filter it out. Go based on your budget, delivery time, which is really good. If you're looking for pro services, of course, as soon as you put pro services, this is where you're going to see the higher prices. Like I said, go based on your budget. You don't have to go so high. But of course, like I mentioned, you get what you pay for. Next thing, if you want to, here's another website right here. This is freelancer.com. Freelancer.com. Now, with freelancer.com, you're able to find people in here too who's willing to do the logos for you. The good thing, the one thing that I like about freelancer.com, let's look for some logos, people who create logos in here. The good thing that the thing that I like about the logos, the freelancers on freelancer.com is the fact that you can set up competitions. Actually, you can set up competitions where you can have people compete for you to hire them. So you could create a job post on here, and you can make a competition out of it. Tell them what type of logo you're trying to create, and then have them compete to see who's going to be the winner, so they could be able to so you could be able to pick the person. Everybody would show you their sample of work. So all you end up doing is come over here on the top where it says post a project, and they'll give you the option of making a competition out of it. Or you can put your own price tag on it, and you can filter through the people who are showing their expertise. You can have conversations with them and see who you want to hire. A next site that I'm going to recommend is Upwork, which is almost the same thing as Freelancer. Upwork, you'll find a lot more professional people. Not saying that everybody else is not professional from the sites that I'm mentioning, but you can find some very high quality work inside of the Upwork. So it's the same thing. Put in looking for people who create logos. You go ahead and find them here too. And honestly, anything regarding your store, for other services, or your business, you can use all three of them to look for those type of resources. So like I said, guys, like when it comes to this part, it's very important, right? Because your name matters. If you don't have a good name, especially a name that's available, then it can play a part in building your brand. And of course, once you have your logo, you have your name, now you can work on really establishing your brand. Of course, you want to know what colors you want to use, what shapes and stuff that you want to incorporate. Now, when it comes to the colors, I strongly recommend, remember, at this point, you should have a list of 5 to 10 competitors. So pay attention to what colors they use as common. Understand their color schemes. See what is what is basically regular in that marketplace. What color do people typically use for people who have businesses in that marketplace? So you can make sure that you're not too far off from being able to have your presence there where people can know, be comfortable with your brand. So hopefully you understand everything that's in here. Remember, the links is down below for the sites that we refer in here. Don't beat yourself up, guys. It could take a little while, but listen, just you're gonna get through it. Just create a name, establish that brand, get your color scheme right, and get things going. Let's move on to the next video. All right, so now we're about to get into the store setup. Now, this is one of the most important of your online store. Why? Because this is where everybody's going to see your product. This is where everybody's going to see your storefront. Now, before we dive into everything, of course, you have to learn how to upload your products and how to design your store. So this is exactly where we're going to do this stuff. Now, let me tell you something. If you don't know how your store is supposed to look, then this is where you're going to have a major problem. A lot of people will spend so much time in the store setup phase where they don't even realize that their store doesn't look anything like their competitors, right? And when I say doesn't look anything like your competitors, as in it looks like a scam, basically. It's missing so much stuff, and the only reason why you don't know that is because you're doing things based on how you feel. I'm pretty sure for some people who probably tried this before, you're wondering why people are not buying from my store. And one of the main things is that your store have to look trustworthy. Now, in this section, this is where we're going to go through not only the basic setup, but how your store should be designed. But we're going to give you some tips and tricks so you can know how to design your store specifically, because everybody's store, depending on the niche and the market that you're going to be in, it may be slightly different, but there's some key things that every store should have. So this is the section, like I said, we're going to dive in deep. I'm going to be showing you how to do the basic setup and, of course, how what exactly your store need. Now, keep in mind that the platform that we use is called Shopify. Shopify, the reason why I recommend Shopify is because not only it's easy to work with, but they give you so many, access to so many different tools and apps that you can use on your store to not only help automate things, but to help optimize your store when it comes to different things that you can you'll see. It's like we're building a machine. So remember, you're building the machine. This is the part that's very important. So take your time going through these videos. If you have to pause, rewind, go through it a couple of times so you can make sure you're doing it right. So let's dive into the computer and get to work. All right, so we're inside the computer right now. If you see me looking this way, just know that I'm just on the computer. But right now we're gonna get ready to start setting everything up. So if you don't have a Shopify store, you don't have a Shopify account, So the first thing you're gonna do is go to Shopify.com. You should see a link maybe below this video that's gonna lead you straight over there. So go to Shopify.com and your page may look like this. Now understand that there's always different updates happening. So throughout all of the videos that you're gonna be watching, there may be a few different changes on this site, but it's all the same concept. So you should see an area where it will tell you where to put your email in or to sign up. So over here, as you can see, it says put in our email. So we're gonna go ahead, put in an email, and you're gonna get a free 14-day trial. Now they're gonna be asking us for some basic information. Some of the stuff I'm gonna probably skip through, but for right now, are you already selling? Listen, there's no right or wrong answers. They're not gonna give you a weird account if you are selling. If you're not, it's all gonna be the same account. This is much more of like a survey. But depending on where you best fit, you can go ahead and put it there. I'm not selling any products yet, right? It says, do you want to sell products through drop shipping? Now, this is where you're gonna put yes or no. You don't have to put yes. Maybe you have your own product. You could just put no. It doesn't really matter. In addition to your what else you're gonna be selling, right? So you can put Facebook, Instagram, in person. Honestly, I will probably click almost all of them. How much are you revenuing? Now, of course, like I said, depending on where you at, you'll just put it there. I'm gonna put, which industry will you be operating in? Now, remember, if you still don't know, at this point right here, you should already know what you're selling, who you're selling to, what is the market that you're in, what niche that you're in. You should already know this before you get here. If you still don't know what product or not the product, but what niche that you're in, who you're going to be selling to, what market you in, or even the product itself too, then we shouldn't even be touching a store right now. We shouldn't be setting up anything. You should already have done your homework so you can know what product you're going to sell, what niche you're going to be into, what marketplace you're going to, because if you didn't finish with that, it's not going to make any sense getting to this part. So let's say, for example, we say that we're doing beauty. So of course, this is where you're going to put in your information. I'm probably going to end up stopping this part, but okay, so this is how your store is going to look. So this is the back office of your store. So only you can see this. The customers cannot see this. Only you. This is where you're going to be able to start accessing all of the back end information. So that means, as you can see on the left side of the screen, it shows orders, products, customers, finances, analytics, marketing, discounts, and so on. So much different places. And this area right here is called your sales channels. The sales channels is the places where your products are basically going to be at. That's if you choose to put it there. Remember, they asked us that question saying, where will we be selling our products other than here? We mentioned that we was going to do it on Facebook, Google, and all of that. So they made sure that they set up the sales channel over here. But as soon as we create the account, right? So one of the things that I like to do before I get things going, let's go ahead and set up our domain. Now, of course, there's going to be a few things that we're going to be tweaking up. As I mentioned before, by this time, you should already know what product, what exactly you're selling. So there's going to be some basic stuff that we're going to put inside of here. So let's go over here where it says basic information. Now, this is where we can change the name of the business. What are you going to name your business? You can change it into here. Put the legal company name. So that means if you already have a LLC, you could go ahead and plug it in there. You can tweak some of this stuff up. Contact information. Now, the contact information, I believe this is for where your customers can reach you, right? So this is the email address right here that the customers will end up seeing. So you could come over here and change the store contact information if you don't want the person or your customers seeing your over here. If you don't want them to see your actual personal email. But we're gonna scroll down to where it says domains, because that's the part that I want to get to. Now, when it comes to the domain, hopefully you already have one. Remember, some of these things is you should already have. Now, say if you don't, you can actually get your domain from Shopify. The reason why I don't find an issue getting it through Shopify, here's something about that. If you get it through GoDaddy.com, which I strongly recommend, if you're getting your domain from GoDaddy.com for the first time, they usually charge you $1, right? $1 for a year trial or something like that. And then after that, I think they charge you like 20 something dollars a month. But there's going to be a few things that you're going to want to make sure you have. And that is a company email address too. So that means, let's say for example, if your store is called chriskeyz.com, right? You would want an email address like support@chriskeyz.com. I don't recommend to have like a Gmail customer service email or whatever, because you want to come off as professional as possible. Remember, you're building a brand. You want to be as professional as possible. So let's say, for example, if you purchase a domain from GoDaddy, you could come over here and connect it, right? Connect existing. So let's say, for example, if I was to put chriskeyz.com, right? I don't think I purchased that. But if I purchased it through GoDaddy, in this area right here, it would automatically detect that is from GoDaddy, and it will ask me if I want to automatically connect it, right? So what I would do is open up a new tab, log into your GoDaddy account where you purchased that domain, and come back to your Shopify page, right? Let's say, for example, if you didn't do it yet, refresh your page, go ahead and put that domain name and follow through, and you'll be able to see that automatic connect through GoDaddy. Once you do that, it's going to do all the work for you, so you won't really have to do any manual work. Now, let's say, for example, if you were to purchase it from Shopify, Shopify would automatically just set up everything for you. They would even give you an email to pick from. So remember, if you're going to be purchasing your domain from GoDaddy, then also get a business email from them too. They usually would give you the option. If you're going to get it from Shopify, Shopify usually automatically end up giving you an email, but make sure you have an email to go with it too. As soon as it goes through, it's gonna let you know that your domain has connected. Sometimes it may take a few hours or so, but just know that it's gonna be connected. As long as they give you the green light, you're good to go. So now we're gonna move on to the next section. Okay, so right now we're back in the settings section. Right now we're back. So if you don't know how to get there, remember, just click on settings and you'll be back. The next thing that we're going to set up is the payment section. Now, this is where you're going to be able to receive payments. So you need to set up an account. So Shopify have their own merchant, which is called Shopify Payments. Now, for those of you who don't know what is a merchant account or what's a merchant, basically this is where our cards will be processed. So in order for you to be able to accept payments on your store, you need to have a merchant account. So my Shopify Payments is one of them. Probably like deep down inside of the course, we're going to be showing you some alternatives for merchant accounts and stuff, but that's going to be a whole nother subject right there. But they usually give you a merchant account that you can use. So as you can see, I clicked over here where it says payments, and we're going to go ahead and click on complete account setup. So now at this point, let's say if you already have your LLC and everything, even if you don't have an LLC, but I'll still strongly recommend to get one, especially if you're about to build a big business. This is where you're going to put your information. So we could go ahead and type put LLC, put in your EIN number, or if you don't have an LLC, it's cool. You could just keep it as individual, right? And you're gonna put in your social security number. But go ahead, fill out this information. Remember, you're gonna be using the actual details that you used to set up your LLC inside of here. Now your personal details. Remember, all of this is just personal information. This has nothing to do with your customers or anything. So make sure you fill it out precisely, because you don't want nothing to end up messing up you being able to receive payments. So yes, they're gonna ask you for your personal information like your social. The reason why is because Uncle Sam wants to record everything. So so make sure that you put in your information in there, because of course at the end of the year you're gonna have to pay taxes on the money that you made inside of your store. Over here, as you can see, you can put in if you have any additional owners or not. Over here, make sure that you put what category is your business in. You can go through the list. There's different type of lists. They got subcategories, and make sure you write a little description. Now, the reason why, not even a little description, if you can write an in detail description of the products and services that you're gonna be selling inside of your store, is very vital to do that, because sometimes, you guys are gonna be learning how to set up a store, a legit store, the right way. But a mistake that I see a lot of people would do is that they would create a store, and some of the products probably go against what Shopify would tell you that you can sell, or the product is probably a digital product, and they want to make sure that the customers is not getting scammed. So you have to be very in detail. Or maybe it's a product where nobody really knows what it is. People don't really know what it is, so they don't know if they should trust this store. So this is where you really give like a real description. If you could write a little paragraph of like, what are you selling? Who are you helping? All of that stuff, like put that in there, because that's going to help whoever's going to be monitoring your store from Shopify would be able to know what exactly is you're selling, or what exactly you're doing inside of this store. So you want to really put a deep description inside of here. Now, where it says statement descriptor, this is basically what is going to show up in the person's bank account, right? As in bank statement. Sorry about that, bank statement. So it doesn't need to be anything long, but the reason why you want to probably put something where it can be clear that they purchased from your store, like the name of your brand, because you don't want to end up having, let's say for example, if my store name, I changed it to chriskeyz.com, but I left it as this, right? Sometimes people will purchase a product, and then let's say a week or maybe a month or two, they'll go back into their bank statements for whatever reason, right? And they're looking through and they're looking like, what? Like, when did this company take $35 away from me? Like, I don't know what this company is. You understand? Because they remember purchasing they remember spending $35 from chriskeyz.com, but they don't remember purchasing from SP Jan Sep 2462. They don't remember that, and it's gonna be like it never happened. So make sure you set some type of name that people can know that is coming from your store. So as soon as you're done, go ahead, click on continue with the account setup. I mean, I didn't finish it, of course, but from there we're gonna move on to the next section. Okay, we're still inside the setting area. We're gonna go ahead and set up some policy pages. Now, there's some important pages that your store need to have based on the type of products and the marketplace that you're in. If you don't have these pages, it definitely makes your store come off as possible scam. And a lot of people underestimate these pages that you should have, because a lot of us look for these pages sometimes and we don't even know subconsciously that the way a store looks, it triggers to us in ways where we can know if it's somewhere where I will purchase or somewhere where I'm like, okay, I don't think this is a good store to purchase from. What do I mean by that? So, like I said, there's certain things that there's certain pages that your store should have, like a refund policy, privacy policy, terms of service, shipping policy. Now, let me tell you about the refund policy. You have to have something that makes it clear that either you about how people can get their money back based on if a product is messed up through shipping or whatever issues that they end up having. You need to have a well set up policy. Now, here's a little shortcut. Remember earlier on, I told you guys that you should have a list of 5 to 10 competitors, right? And you remember how I said that, having your list of 5 to 10 competitors help you kind of move faster in a way. And what do I mean by that? You let them do the hard work for you, and you basically just take a shortcut. Now, I'm not telling you to copy people word from word. You could get in trouble for that, of course, right? But one thing that I noticed, a lot of people have a lot of similar refund policy, privacy policy, terms of service, and shipping policy. So what you can do, you can use your competitors' refund policy or whatever it is. Do your research, of course, read through it to see if this is what they have. It aligns with what you want to do too when it comes to privacy. When it comes to refund policy, privacy policy, terms of service, and shipping. So what you basically would end up doing, or sometimes what I would do, is just make sure if you're gonna use someone else's policy, just make sure you remove their business name, business map, business information, and replace it with yours. Make sure you remove their personal information and replace it with yours, because you don't want to get in trouble for using someone's refund policy, privacy policy, whatever it is, and then you end up leaving their information in there and they end up seeing that you're copying what they have. So it's better for you to just actually read through it and remove their information and replace it with yours. Remember, all you're doing is literally copying the rules that they have for their refund. There's nothing wrong with copying the rules that they have. Just make sure their business information, their personal information is not on that page. So remember that. Now, let's say, for example, if you're like, man, you know what? I don't have time for that, which you should have time for that. You can either hire someone on Fiverr or Upwork or freelancer.com, or you could just come over here and just create a template. So basically, Shopify creates a template which you can come up in here and edit it to your liking. So basically, it gives you a head start. It gives you a head start, almost the same concept, just like using your competitors. Like I said, they give you a template. If you can't think of anything, you can't find competitors, you can come in here and tweak it up to your liking, unique to your store. Same thing for the privacy policy. They put in, as you can see, all of the information that we placed in there. They immediately just went ahead and generated it with our information in there. So that's exactly what I mean by you want to actually go through that person's page if you're going to be using the competitor, to make sure that their personal information, their business information is not in there. For example, these are very like generic stuff, like broad, right? It's leading you straight to Facebook and all of that stuff. There's no issue in that, but we just don't want it to have their business information and their personal stuff. So they'll generate it for you, right? Coming over here, terms of service, same thing. These are pages that you need to have. Usually these pages are located in the the footer of the page, which means the bottom of the page. And of course, the shipping policy. Now, as you can see, you can't really create a template for that. Why? Because everybody's shipping policy might be different. So again, if you don't want to think of something off the top of your head, use your competitors, right? And then from there, depending on if you're selling a digital product or a physical product, shipping, all of that plays a part. This is where you'll put in all of that information on how long does it take for the shipping to get there, or how long does it take before you actually ship that product. Do you have like a 3-day money process, and then before you actually put all of that information in there, because sometimes that's another information that customers will look for. They want to know how long does it usually take for them to receive their products. At least in the shipping policy, you can put something there. Or let's say if a product do get damaged or something, you can put something in the shipping policy where people would be able to know what to expect, right? So remember, you want to make sure you have all of these pages. One more page that you want to make sure that you have is a contact page. If you don't have a contact page, then you want to make sure that you have your contact information on your main page. It could be probably located in the footer, which means the bottom of your page, or it could be located in the top section. So what exactly do I mean by that with the contact page? Okay, so right now we're inside of where it says online store. So remember, I clicked on online store. If you don't know where that's at, just click on home. You're gonna click on online store right here. And we're gonna go over here where it says navigation. All right, but before we go to navigation, we're gonna click over here where it says pages. Make sure that you have a contact page. So let's just click on here real quick. And over here is where you're gonna put your customer service email. You could put whatever it is at whatever.com and customer service number, and you could put that information in there, and you can end up telling them like, hey, write something down below. I think they already have a page. Let me see the page. So this is basically how it would look. So the information, that content that we wrote would be up here, somewhere up here, right? And the customer would be able to write it out here. So as you can see, contact is right there. But just always make sure that that page is there. Make sure that page is available. Now, when it comes to the other pages that we created, right? We want to go over here where it says navigation. We're going to click on where it says footer menu. And now we're going to be able to add those menus that we create. So click over here. We're going to click where it says policies. Now remember, I only did 3 different pages, but if we did do a shipping policy page, it would have popped up. So privacy policy, we're going to go over there. We're going to call it privacy policy, right? I'm going to move this out the way. I'm gonna click on add. As you can see, remember, we're in the footer area, so this is where it's gonna pop up at. Add another page. So I'm gonna come over here, policies, refund policy, add, and so on. So hopefully you get that part right there. And as soon as, like I said, as soon as you have all of your pages there, go ahead and click on save menu, and we're gonna go back. So this is where you're gonna have the place where you can add the different, where the navigation would go. So as you can see, main menu, let's say for example, if we wanted to, I mean, you don't have to add your policies and everything in there. The only thing that I'll probably put on the top area is probably like the shipping policy. Sometimes I want that to be a little transparent so people can know what to expect, but you can still keep it on the footer of your menu. You don't have to have it on the main menu. When you see main menu, that usually means the top of your website. So remember, guys, this is the key things these are the key pages that you're gonna need inside of your store. Do not go ahead and try to start selling products without that, because sometimes your merchant account might end up shutting down. Remember, your merchant account is your processor to process the cards. Sometimes merchants would shut down you being able to use their merchant account because you don't have some of these pages that I mentioned. So make sure you have the privacy policy, refund policy, shipping policy, all of these stuff, so your store can be as legit as possible. Like I said, do your research. Look at your competitors see what they have so you can make sure that you have something just as similar. Let's move on to the next section. Okay, so right now we're gonna get into adding products. But before we add products, we're going to set up what we call collections. So basically, collections is like the categories that you're gonna have for your products. Now, let's say, for example, if the store right here that we're creating is a fitness store, right? And I'm going to have different type of fitness related products. That might be clothing. That might be actual fitness massage tools, or maybe it's going to be like equipment. I will come here where it says products, click on products. I'm going to come over here where it says collections. And this is where we're basically going to be creating like our categories or collection. So the name of this one, I can call it fitness clothing. Or it can be specifically t-shirts, or it can be pants. It can be like, depending on the different categories you want to create, this is where you can come to. Let's say if you're doing like home products, it could be kitchen products. You can put bedroom products, and this is where you're gonna add all your products in there if you choose to. So let's say if I made one for fitness clothing, right? You don't necessarily have to put a description, but you can put one in there if you want to. We're gonna click on manual, and we're gonna go ahead and just save. So now we have that. Let's say, for example, we want to create another one and put fitness equipment. Keep it on manual. The reason why I'm going to put it on manual is because it's going to make it easy for me to just put it in. If you put it on automated, the thing about automated, you'll have to set up like tags and all of that extra stuff. Now, listen, if you want to do that, you can do that. You can put tags on your products so it could just automatically go in there. But sometimes I would have issues where it will conflict with different collections that I might create. Now, here's another thing. Do you have to create a collection? No, you don't have to create a collection. But sometimes, depending on the type of store that you create, it may be best for you to create these collections. So I put another one for equipment. And you can also add like a general picture of what that collection, that category have. So maybe it might be either maybe a group picture of all the products that they have, or maybe it's just a logo or something that just represents that collection. You could put it in there too. It's up to you. So go ahead and save. So now that we have our collection created, we're gonna go ahead and add our products. Of course, if we don't have products, then we can't sell anything. So now I'm gonna use another store as an example, just for time's sake, so you guys could just know how to do this. Now, when you're adding in products, let's say, for example, if you're a person who have the physical products that you want to sell, you want to take nice pictures. I would recommend to have pictures where the products have similar backgrounds, or like it's either gonna be just a plain white background, or I would recommend for it to be a color that aligns with your branding color that's gonna be on your website. You know, I see so many people that would just take pictures of their products with any type of random background, and your store don't look as professional. Remember, you want to use competitors' sites as an example to see even how their products look. Not saying that your product has to be like, the picture has to be done with like an elite camera. You could use your regular phone camera, but be mindful of the background. Like I said, you can probably use something where it's just a plain white background, at least for that first picture that everybody's gonna see, just so we can have a clean look. Or if you're gonna be using like an outside type of background, just make sure that all of the products have that similar color scheme in the background. If it's just going to be green leaves or whatever it is, or rainforest, whatever, just make it look similar to that, or similar to the branding of the color branding that you're going to be using for your site. So I'm going to use a little cheat code. I'm using another store. You might be a person who probably selling another product that a different store is selling. Maybe you're doing drop shipping or something, right? Remember, we're still building a brand. But let's say, for example, if you found a product on AliExpress, right? So what I would do is I would save the picture. I would save the picture to my computer, right? I'll save it to the computer. Save the pictures that you want to use. So I'm just using this store as an example. I'm just saving. So let's pretend that we're in AliExpress or whatever other website that's out there where you can get products that you want to test. Maybe you want to test a few drop shipping products first before you actually brand it to turn into your own. Save those pictures and then go ahead, and we're gonna go to our store and click on, remember, you're gonna click on products, then you're gonna click on add products. So now we're gonna name it. I'm gonna name this ab stimulator. Now remember, your description, do not shortcut this. Not that I'm saying do not shortcut it as in like don't copy. I'm saying like don't write 2 or 3 sentences and that's it. This is where not only you want to be descriptive so the person can understand like what this product is about, because this gives you another chance to kind of sell the customer. This is where you write like your copyright. This is where you sell them through words of your product. Don't just put, well, it depends on the product, of course, but this is where you can get in detail. Let's use that same store as an example. This is their description of the product. As you can see, it's not just a simple type of description. This is another place, like I mentioned, this is another place for you to be able to sell to your customer again. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this whole thing. Now, like I said, guys, be careful when you copy. You can paraphrase it, rephrase it. This is just for educational reasons only. So I'm just using this as an example. But if you are trying to figure out like, okay, then how can I write a deeper description instead of just telling the person like, hey, this is a phone holder, you can talk about how convenient it is to have something like this, how beneficial it is to have something like about this. Like, be creative, like open up your mind. Don't just write 2, 3 sentences. Make the person want this product. Make the person want this product. So I'm gonna come over here and copy this. Now, remember, we're just using this as an example. As an example, right? Now, let's say, for example, we put that in there. As you can see, inside of their description, they also have pictures and other stuff in here. You can add pictures inside your description. But remember, one thing that I like to use when I'm writing my description is GIFs instead of pictures. You can use pictures still. You can still add pictures inside of the description area, but the reason why I like to use GIFs too is because it shows, you can show that product in action, right? Maybe it's, let's say for example, if it's a hair oil, maybe it's you dripping the actual hair oil, or maybe it's someone putting the hair oil on their scalp, or maybe it's just you just showing, you know, the oil in your hand or whatever it is, but you turn that little video clip into a GIF. What do I mean by that? We're gonna click on where it says picture. So it's not gonna be a video. It's gonna be where it says insert image because it's a GIF. So this is the GIF that I'm about to put in here. I'm going to insert it as an image. And as you can see, it already shows it inside of there. The reason why I like to use GIFs is because a picture is cool, but sometimes when the potential customers see someone else using that product, they place themselves in that person's shoes. They imagine it's them that's actually placing this on the product. You understand? Like, it's like a psychological thing that you're doing, and the customer doesn't realize it's being done to them. But as they're going through this and reading all the benefits and everything, and we're showing them these little GIF clips, because it's not a video they're watching, it's like a 3-second GIF. They're just watching somebody put it. It psychologically, it kind of gets them, and they're putting themselves in that person's shoe. Putting themselves, looking at that person's results, or looking at them using that actual product. They're already placing themselves in it. So it's like a selling technique I like to use. Of course, we could go ahead. If I had more stuff to put, let's say, for example, your description doesn't have to be super long, right? It doesn't have to be a whole page long, but just don't make it like a sentence long. For example, right? Some people will probably have an example like this. Not the same example, but like their description would just have like these 3 little bullets, and that's it. You don't want to do that. This is another place where you can sell the person again. Remember, 9 times out of 10, maybe the person's seen a video ad or a picture ad on Instagram or Facebook, and then boom, they go into your product page, right? And now this is another chance for you to sell them again. This is, they're going to be reading through it. They're going to see it. Do I really want this? And this is where we have another chance to capture their attention. And let's say if we wanted to add this in here. Go ahead. Remember, the product page is one of the most important, is the most important place on your site, because this is where we have to convince the person to purchase, right? So I might throw in another GIF in there. I think I have another one in there. Hopefully you guys are following along and you're understanding the concept that I'm trying to break down to you guys. So I think, okay, it looks like I only downloaded one GIF. But at least you get the concept behind this, right? Now, price point. Now, depending on the product you're selling, do your research so you can figure out what's the price point you're going to sell. Honestly, I like products that I can at least sell at $30 minimum, but that's just me. If you're gonna be doing like online and stuff, or if you immediately going to start testing your products online. If you never sold a product before and your main source of traffic is going to come from online, then you may want to be mindful of the pricing that you're going to put on your product. And the reason why is because, remember, since you're testing, you have to keep in mind of how much money are you spending before a customer purchases. So, for example, if you have a product in your online store that's going for $7, but for every $7 you spend on ads is when you find a customer. So that means you're breaking even. That means you're making no money. That means you spent $7 on ads to get a $7 sell. It's like you basically end up just paying the $7 ads that you just spent, if that makes sense. Hope I'm not losing you guys. So the reason why I like to use a $30 price point is because even if I end up spending $7, at least now I have like $23 left. And let's say if that product was a product that's worth $4, or let's say $6 that I made to $30 price point, I still have a profit margin I can work with. Now, you don't necessarily have to do it that way. You can test things out to see what works for you, because sometimes it may be okay for you to break even the first time around, because especially if you're selling a product that is going to require people to either refill or come back for more, then it may be okay for you to break even at first, because there's a high chance for that customer to come buy that product again because they need to either refill it or get, a new supply of that same product. So at least, the first month I'm not expecting profit, but the second month, I'm not spending money to get back a customer that already purchased. You understand? Like, that customer is an official customer already. They know where to go to buy my product. So that means my ad is no longer the thing that's capturing their attention because they already purchased before. So next month, now I went from spending $7 to get that client, but the next month I'm not spending any money to get that customer again, right? So that when they end up purchasing that $7 product now, that $7 is 100% profit. So I hope I'm not losing you. Play back the video. Hopefully you're following along. So let's say we're going to put it for $30, right? Where you see it says compare price, this is where we can put like a sales price. Like, it used to cost $100. They're going to put an X on it, but now it costs $30. Charge taxes. This is up to you. Now, me, I usually don't put taxes in there. I just make it seem like it's a $30 flat fee, and that's it. It's up to you. So where this is, customers is not going to see this, but the same example that I was given. Let's say, for example, if this product that I put that is for $30 really costs $9, then it shows you your profit margin, right? So that means if I'm doing ads as well, I need to make sure that it's not costing me $21 per customer. You understand? It's not spending me. It's not costing me $21 per person that I find to purchase my product. And where we're gonna get into the ad part. Don't get confused. So you can put how much the product cost you. Over here, shipping. We're gonna get into the shipping part. Don't worry about this part too much. But this is basically everything in a nutshell of, what exactly you're going to need to do inside of the product section. Now, let's say if it's something that you are tracking of the quantity, you can go ahead and put it. Or you can go ahead and just put that, it could continue selling out of stock. You don't need to put a SKU, but it's up to you. I don't know the type of products that you may have. Maybe it's going to require you to have some type of barcode. So this is where you would put in that type of information. Now, here's another thing. Almost forgot, where it says options. Now, this is for, let's say if you are doing bundles, or let's say if you're doing sizes or colors. This is where you would end up coming to. Let's say, for example, if I ended up saying, let's say bundles, right? So that's the name of it. The name of that thing is bundles. I'm going to show you how it looks on the product page. So I can end up putting, buy two. I can put buy three. I can put buy four. Now, as you can see, what happened is that as soon as we created it, it has the price points next to it. So this is where you can possibly put like your discount, right? This is where you put your discount. So we'll put, like, if the person buys two, it will be $55. If they buy three, it will be $80. If they buy four, it will be $105. So this is where you can kind of set up bundles. Same thing. If it was colors, it would just be black, red, green. If it was sizes, it would just be, large, small, medium. Leave it the same price. It's all up to you. So keep in mind, like I said, this is how you set up the product page. This is really the main important area. And don't forget, make sure you add pictures of the product that you're going to be using. So let's say, for example, if this is the products, right? This is the pictures. make sure you have your pictures in there. The first picture that's in this area is going to be the picture that they're going to see on your sales page. So I'm just going to show you guys an example of how it looks, and then we're going to move on to the next section. So we're going to click on where it says preview. Boom. Remember, this is the name of it. This is how much it used to cost. Remember, we put that in there. We put that as costing. Okay, so I did a little mistake. I should have put another category as buy one, so it could show up as $30. So this is where you kind of see that in there. So yeah, basically going through everything. As you could see, everything is exactly how we wanted it to be. And yeah, everything is in a nutshell. So check it out. We're gonna move on to the next section. We're gonna still work on the product page because there's still a lot more stuff that we can do to spice this up. But like I said, we're gonna move on to the next section. We're gonna be diving deep and showing you how we can do that. Okay, so now we're gonna get into doing Shopify apps. Now, for those who don't know what exactly Shopify apps is basically Shopify lets you go ahead and add different applications that can help optimize your store to either bring more sales or just help the store just do different functions that it won't be able to do if it just had a plain setup. So basically you can download different applications inside of your store to help do different things, in a nutshell. So this is what I want to say about this part. Now below, the next few videos from this is going to be recommended apps that we would say that you can use for your store. Do you have to use those apps? No, some of them are going to be free. Some of them are going to be paid apps, right? But these are just apps that we would strongly recommend for you to have inside of your store. Now, of course, maybe you might find an app that does the same exact thing that we're showing that it do inside of one of the videos or, for a specific app, but you might find a different brand or a different type of app that does the same exact thing as the one that we're recommending. If you rather use that, then you can go ahead, but we're just still gonna give you some suggested or some recommendations of different apps that we would put inside of our store to help optimize the store, because at the end of the day, we don't want it to just be a regular setup. We want to optimize our store so we can be able to get more sales. So we're going to be breaking down what type of apps we would recommend for you to have inside your store and what exactly those apps do so you can be able to have a better looking store and more sales at the end of the day. So let's move on to these next few videos. Okay, so with this app right here is called Loox. I strongly recommend for you to use this app. And the reason why is because this is another app that is used for social proof. People love reviews. And pretty soon I'm going to be showing you guys how exactly we can utilize this app to our fullest advantage when it comes to your store. But like I said, people love reviews. So this app right here gives customers a chance to leave reviews, and so your future customers or your potential customers can be able to see those reviews so they could go ahead and determine if they want to purchase this product or not. But the beauty about this app is that not only people can leave regular reviews, but they could leave picture reviews, because there's a lot of apps that's out there that only let people just write a paragraph or two. But with this app, not only it lets people write their little 2 sentence or whatever, but it also gives them a chance to upload a picture of the product or the packaging or whatever it is. Now, the reason why I strongly recommend for you guys to have this is because one of the things that get people to go ahead and purchase is reviews. Even you who's looking at this video, listening to me speak right now, I'm pretty sure before you go to a restaurant, the first thing you probably do is look at the reviews. Before you go ahead and purchase clothing or whatever it is from a store that you really want to purchase from, maybe there's something that you really like, but you're trying to understand the quality of it, whatever it is. What influenced you to go ahead and purchase is the reviews, right? So I would strongly recommend use this app. Not only is really good with social proof, but it go ahead and just build that trust even more, right? Let's say, for example, if you're a person who's probably looking at this and like, Chris, I don't even have any reviews. I never sold any products yet. No worries. Listen, guys, listen, all you got to do is reach out to family and friends. Ask them to post up a review for you. That's it. They could just go to the website, tell them the product page, and they could post up a review for you. Oh, Chris, I don't have the product. The product is overseas. Purchase the product. Send the product to your house. Take multiple pictures. Or if you're doing drop shipping, you could go on AliExpress, DHgate, wherever you're getting it from. 9 times out of 10, your vendor who's selling the product has reviews. Ask them for reviews. If they have picture reviews, ask them for that. And guess what you could do? You can leverage their reviews on your page because you're selling the same exact product, right? So you can go ahead and add their reviews on your product page because people are going to be reviewing the same exact product. So there's literally no excuses of why you can't have picture reviews or any type of reviews on your store. Let's move on to the next video. Okay, so we have Klaviyo. So Klaviyo, however you want to pronounce it. This tool right here is powerful. This tool right here is strongly recommended for everyone. What exactly does this do? This is for email marketing and SMS, which is basically text messaging, right? So the thing about this is that not only you can do your email marketing on here, but you can also do email marketing for abandonment carts. Basically carts that people abandon. You know, I strongly recommend that you using some type of app or something that is helping you recover the people who add products to the cart but didn't go ahead and fully purchase. This is where email marketing and sometimes SMS marketing, which is text, is strongly recommended. If you're not using email marketing inside of your business, you're missing on at least 30% of your revenue. So that means if you were supposed to do $100,000 for the year in revenue and you did not use email marketing, that means you missed out on $30,000. I know there's businesses that is strongly surviving off of email marketing, where email marketing is 80% of their business. And the reason why you want to take email marketing very serious is that, remember, with email marketing, every time somebody goes through your business and purchase a product or do whatever it is, every time we're collecting emails, we're building our own list. Now, we own that list, right? So that means if however we're doing advertising or however we're doing marketing, let's say, for example, if you're running ads on social media, if you're running ads on radios, if you're running ads on TV, all of that traffic that is coming through to your website, if we're able to capture all of those people emails, or at least a percentage of it, if all of those platforms were to shut down, radio, TV, social media, if all of that was to shut down, we still have control of our list, which is our email marketing list. Remember, we still have that, so we could always keep on selling and reaching out to people and go ahead and get sales. So I strongly recommend use Klaviyo as a way to not only to help you with abandoned carts, sending out emails, but even for brand awareness, right? Building, like nurturing your customers and nurturing your potential customers so they could go ahead and purchase or purchase more, right? Or so they can become family, make them familiar with you. So don't fall asleep on email marketing, SMS marketing. This tool is strongly recommended so you can put inside of your store so you can be able to create some emails to really help your store reach the next level. Listen, if there's anything I can emphasize on and really show you the importance of it, is definitely email marketing. Do not play around with this. Take it very serious. As you can see, there's a free version, there's paid versions, but just dive in deep, try to really understand it. You know, one thing that I always tell people is the people who's going to do the best out of this course is the people who go beyond, like over and beyond with the information that they're receiving. What I'm trying to say is that even if we don't go super deep into details when it comes to some of these apps, I need you to go over and beyond. You have the information that you can do the research on, right? Now you have something that you can build off of versus not knowing what to do. Now you know what to do. Now we have information that we can research. Let's go over and beyond and really dive in deep so you can strongly, understand what email marketing is, how you can implement it in your business so you can be able to take your business to the next level. Let's move on to the next video. All right, check it. So now we're about to get into some social media marketing. Now, this part you have to pay extremely, put all your attention in this part because now you have a product, your store set up, right? And now we need to find ways to get people to come into our store. Now, this is the part where it could either make you or break you because not everybody knows how to do the proper marketing so they could bring traffic into their store. Now, below this video is going to be different techniques on marketing, but overall, I just want to give you an understanding about social media marketing. Now, remember, this is social media marketing. We're going to be using this so we can show our products. Social media marketing is going to be probably one of the top on your list when it comes to bringing in traffic into your store. So we got, when I say social media marketing, I'm talking about TikTok, Facebook, Instagram. If you don't have a TikTok account, I strongly recommend creating one. If you don't have a Facebook account, strongly recommend creating one. If you don't have an Instagram account, strongly recommend creating one because you're going to be using all of these platforms so you could be able to show your product. Now, if you had to ask me, which one would I put a lot more time and effort in? Honestly, all of them, but TikTok is probably going to be one of your best friends because TikTok, as of right now, TikTok is one of the most best place to not only show your products, but get a chance to get some organic traffic. Now, I need you to understand that every account, every Instagram account, every TikTok account, every account has different results. So even if you're selling the same thing as someone else and you see that they're getting a lot of engagements and you're not, don't think that you're doing something wrong. That's just how the algorithm can be sometimes. But we're going to be showing you how to do things the right way so you could get the best results, even if it doesn't happen immediately, but we'll be able to position ourselves so we can keep on nurturing that account so we can get it to where it needs to get to. Now, when it comes to you doing social media marketing, right, I need you to understand, we're going to be posting a lot of videos of our product, right? You shouldn't have more pictures than videos. We want, I'm telling you right now, videos convert better than pictures. So that means it's okay to post up pictures of the product, but we need to show people how this product is being used. How does it look? How does it feel? You understand? We need to show what's the before and after effects. We need to get personal with the product. What do I mean by personal? Maybe even having videos showing somebody else gifting with that product. Showing that emotional side of how that product will make that person feel. Showing the excitement. But all of this is done through videos. It could be different type of videos. I don't care if it's somebody who's opening up the package and looking at the product, and we need to show, not only showing the product, but we want the person to connect with it on an emotional level so they can feel like, oh man, I need this product, right? So remember, on our social media, we're going to be more focused on video content. You can do pictures, but we're not going to let pictures be the most things that we're going to post up. because that's where a lot of people mess up. They'll flood their social media accounts with a whole bunch of pictures and then wondering why nobody's interested in their product. And the reason why nobody's interested in your product, because a picture is not enough. You know, we're living in a world now where everything is, the things that's getting the most engagements is video content. You know, if you're on TikTok, especially TikTok, it's all about video content. So I want you guys to understand like the arts of what's about to happen. Remember, you are not going to be number driven when you start posting up content on your social media. We just want to keep on posting up different videos, even if it's only one person liking it. It doesn't matter. We're not being emotionally attached to the numbers. We just want to keep on showing content of our products. You understand? Showing content of our products, showing videos, how it's used, all of that stuff. You know, I know I'm being repetitive, but the reason why I'm doing this is because there's going to be a lot of people who are going to just be posting up pictures and not getting the results that they're looking for, right? And don't worry, every step below that I'm going to be showing you different marketing things, but I'm going to be showing like which one I would really start with. But with that being said, let's go ahead, let's move on to the next video, and let's get into some influencer marketing, which I strongly advise everybody to start off with that one. But let's get straight into it so you could be able to take your store to the next level. Let's go. Right, so this part right here, this is where we're going to start testing. So if you're on this video, that only means that you're ready to start testing. You're ready to start launching your first ads. So I'll start off like this. This video right here is going to cover a specific testing strategy. And then we're also going to get into showing how to also scale. But of course, the beginning is just setting up the ads for this specific strategy of testing your products on Facebook ads. Now, one thing that I must mention, I'm going to be covering everything from A to Z with this strategy. And I just want you to know something. You've probably watched other videos on YouTube already, or maybe you bumped into your favorite guru on social media. One thing to keep in mind, just so you won't get confused, everyone has their own strategy on how to test. Some strategies can be similar to others. Some strategies can be slightly different. I'm going to show you what's been working for me. So I'm just saying this because the one thing that's kind of like misunderstood is that, especially with newbies, you might go to somebody and they say, hey, when you're launching an ad, make sure you launch it for this specific time. And then you go to someone else and they mention a different time. Then it puts you as a newbie in a confusion of, hold up, who's right or who's wrong? You understand? Meanwhile, there's no really like right or wrong answer. This is just, they're giving their specific like strategies or the do's and don't based on what they've tested for themselves or probably what they tested with others. And this is just what's been working for them. So it doesn't mean that it doesn't work. It doesn't mean that, or they're doing it the wrong way only because you heard somebody else say it differently. Everybody just have their own different strategy, different method that they're using. And because of that, it may not sound too similar. So like I said, I'm going to show you how exactly I've been able to do it for me and my clients and students, and how you can do this for yourself too, especially if you're completely new. Now, we're going to cover what's happening on the dashboard. First, there's going to be different things that you're going to definitely need to know on when it comes to what's happening on your dashboards, especially with all of these columns and everything. I'm not going to go in depth of what's happening here, but you will see below this video, there's going to be some notes. you'll be able to see what each of these stand for. But we're going to get straight into testing. So when we're testing, we're going to be creating a ABO campaign. What is the ABO? That is ad set budget optimization. Ad set budget optimization, right? Now, this basically this is going to be a campaign. So as you can see, we're in the campaign tab. Once we create a campaign, we're going to go to create, and we're going to set up this campaign for sales. Continue, and we're going to go to where it says manual sales. Now, one thing to keep in mind, Facebook is always changing things. So don't be surprised if you're watching this video and then you go to your Facebook and it might look slightly different. I don't want you to think like, oh man, am I on the wrong page? You're probably on the right page. It's just slightly different. But as you can see, always make sure the tab that I show you that said campaigns, always make sure that that is where you are clicking on. Make sure that tab is open, and that's where you're clicking create at. You don't want to start in a different tab and click and create thinking that is going to automatically bring you there. Always make sure that when you're creating a new campaign, you click on the campaign tab and then you click create. So once you're in, you can name me. I like to structure my work. So let's say, for example, I'm selling, maybe this campaign that I'm running is for a specific product. Maybe it's for a specific product. So let's say dog tag, right? And then I'm going to put today's date. So let's put 9/19. And then I'm going to put ABO, just so I can know that this is a ad set budget optimization campaign, right? Do you have to set it up this way? No, you don't have to set it up this way, as in like the campaign name. This is just so I can be able to keep my work as structured and as very clean as possible. Next, we're going to make sure that all of these are off, right? Make sure that all of these are off, and then we're going to move on to the next page. This is where we're going to set up our ad set. As you can see, is ad set. So with the ABO optimization, right? This is where we're coming to test interest. Or if I had to like dumb it down a little bit, this is where we're coming to test audiences, like specific audiences that we feel that might be interested in the product that we're selling, right? So we're going to come over here. Sorry. So as you can see, I just clicked on conversions. We're going to make sure that we set up the conversions for a website. Remember that. You want to set up the conversions for a website. You're going to leave this the way it is. Now where it says pixel ID or pixel, make sure you click here and you put the right pixel ID that you're looking for. So for example, I'm going to go ahead and click over here. Okay, so I just picked my pixel name, well, my pixel ID. It's going to show up as the name that you place for your pixel. Where it says conversion events, we want to click here and we want to make sure we go to purchase. Now, if your store is brand new, nobody ever purchased from it, you want to go ahead and scroll down. You might see purchase maybe somewhere down here. If yours don't look exactly like this, let's say, for example, it might show that it's yellow or red. Don't worry about it. Just make sure you click on purchase, right? Then we're going to scroll down. Now, over here for budgets. Now, when it comes to the ad sets that because we're gonna be running 10 ad sets minimum. We're gonna be doing 10 ad sets inside of one campaign. So right now, like I said, this next tab is called your ad set. So this is your first ad set. So I usually do my ad sets a minimum of $10, right? It's going to be a minimum of $10. If if you are if you're if you're running your ad, right? If you're going to be running your ad, please, I strongly recommend that you do not run your ad below $10 per ad set, because this basically means we're about to spend $100. We're going to spend about $100 a day so we can test to see what's working and what's not working and what can we scale. So sometimes, depending on how fast you want to move, you can put $20. If you want to move at a steady pace, which is still good, $10. Typically, I usually do my 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 ad sets at $10 each. So, but this will also, what will determine how long you would run it for. I usually run my ads, my campaigns for about 2 to 3 days. I want to say by day 2, you can, especially if you start receiving sales, you can kind of see which ad sets you're probably going to turn off, because that's the thing. We're not necessarily going to be spending $100 flat every single day. Within 24 hours, or I want to say about, like, give it about 2 days. Within 2 days, we should see which ad sets that we're going to turn off, and which ones that we're going to leave, and possibly move on to that scaling phase, which of course is going to require you to spend more so you can make more, but it's all going to make sense as you go. So this is why it's extremely important to make sure that you have the budget. Don't cheat yourself, because I know there's going to be people who don't have the budget, who's going to come run straight here and start running ads, and they did 2-3 days of testing on just one campaign alone, and then they're going to say, if they don't get any sales, they're going to say, Chris, this didn't work for me. No, it works. You just need to test more. That's just how the game goes. Anyways, so so right now it's 12 p.m. It is 12 p.m. Eastern time right now. So I'm going to set up this ad to be launched by tomorrow at 12 a.m. I want my ad to start in the beginning of the day. Now, there are people who you might bump into that might tell you launch your ad by 6 a.m. There's some people that you might bump into and they say you can launch it at any time, right? Everybody has their own experiences. There's no right or wrong, but I would still want you to stick to one specific strategy as you go. So as far as like Ecom with Keyz Academy, we're going to set up our ad for 12 a.m. the next day if we're already in the middle of the day, right? Let's say, for example, if it's 2 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning, you can launch your ad to literally start right there and then. You don't need to schedule it out. You could just leave the time the way it is if you're around like those time of the morning. But I want to say if it's like after, let's say 12 p.m., not even after 12 p.m. I want to say if it's like after 6, 7 a.m., then you should definitely leave your ads to be ran or start the next morning. So we're going to put 12 a.m. We're going to scroll down. I typically do USA for my targeting. That's the location that I usually go. But we're going to switch things up. Make sure where it says advantage audience, you're going to click over here. And you're going to click on where it says switch to original audience option. Don't worry about what they're saying here. Like I said, this is for this specific strategy right here. So we already have our budget that's set up for $10. It's going to be launched tomorrow. So now what we're gonna do is, like I said, Facebook is always switching up how they got things set up here. Okay, I got a little lost. Like I said, they always switching up how things is. I haven't launched this specific type of campaign in a while. I'm doing a different strategy, which you guys will learn later on. But this strategy is still effective. I don't want you to think like, oh well, we want to try the new thing that you're doing. This strategy is still effective, and I'll show you proof of past campaigns that I ran. This is perfect. So as you can see, let me just go back. We're gonna click over here, drop this down, open it up, and we're targeting the USA. This is what I'll say. If you have a product where you're planning to test it for different countries other than the US, I would strongly recommend that you create a separate campaign that is going to be targeting that specific country. So if you're targeting USA, if USA is one of the places that you want to target, create one campaign that is going to be for that specific country. Now, what do I mean by that? This is the campaign. My campaign is going to have multiple ad sets in it, but overall, this is going to be one campaign. So I want to make sure that all my ad sets is targeting just the US. When it comes to age, I usually leave if I'm testing, I usually leave the age from 18 to 65 plus. Depending on the product, what might make me adjust the age a bit. Usually, if it's a product that I know is more so catered to the older crowd, I will probably put the age, I'll move it up to 25. Over here, I'll move it up to 25. And I'll leave it the way it is. So I'm not gonna lie, most of the time, especially for the type of products that I'm usually selling, is usually catering to people that's 25 and older. But like I said, you'll usually see it at 18 and older. I do not recommend to put it below 18 because 9 times out of 10, or not even 9 times out of 10, but most of your buyers are going to come from the 18 and older. The 16-year-olds, it's not even worth really targeting them. Just stay with the 18 and older, unless if you're probably selling like toys or something. And just think about who's actually going to see these ads. If a 16-year-old see the ad, imagine your 16-year-old coming up to you like, "Oh, mom, I really want this." You probably don't get it off of the first time they're asking. I'm just trying to put it in reality. If a person is 18 and they're really working, they don't need to ask permission. They could just get it. So it's a little bit different. Of course, gender, depending on like who is this product for. You might be selling makeup. Now, of course, we're living in different times now. So depending on I guess the audience that your product attracts. Does it mainly attract just women? Is it mainly for men? Is it for everyone? Or who is most likely to buy? That could be another question. Who's most likely to buy this product, depending on how the product is? So for me, if I'm selling makeup, I'm probably going to target more women than men, if that makes sense. Or you could just leave it for all and let Facebook do what they got to do. Then we're going to come over here where it says placement. Already know language. You can leave it the way it is. You don't need to put a specific language unless if you are being very specific or very niche. Maybe you're creating an ad that's in Spanish and you only want to target Spanish speaking people. At the same time, like I said, guys, Facebook is pretty smart. They know who exactly to show these ads to. Okay, next, we're going to come over here where it says detailed targeting. Now, this is where we're going to this is where we're going to start looking for the audiences that we want to target, the people that we want to target. So we're going to click over here. Now, when you're looking for your audience, this is, as you can see, it says add demographics, interests, and behaviors. We're only going to be looking for audiences that has interests. We don't want to look for demographics or behaviors. We're only searching for interests. So using the dog tag as an example, right? So let's just type in dog. So this is letting us know that, as you can see, there's different stuff here, right? This one, the first audience is dogs, animals, right? So it's showing how many people have an interest in dogs. So we always want to make sure over, as you can see, like for example, you see how this one says dog grooming, but it says field studied, or dog grooming and it says employers. No, we always want it to say interests. We don't care if it says employers, demographics. Don't, because you'll end up spending more money on ads. Like it'll run through your money like that. We want to stick to only interests. So we're gonna go ahead and click this. Right? So now you see how it says this is the estimated size of this audience. Remember, if you're only going to be spending $10 a day, as you can see, it says that from you spending, well, this is based on 7 days. These results is based on 7 days. Within 7 days, you'll probably reach 822 to 2,000 accounts within the week because you're spending $10 a day on this single ad set. And it's letting us know that we might make anywhere between 8 to 23 conversions. I'm going to let you know right now, guys, do not keep this number in your head. Because they're just giving you an estimate. Basically, they're trying to say that, hey, if your ad is really, really good, like really, really good, you'll be able to make about 8 to 23 sales. You understand? So don't be discouraged if you do start running your ads and you realize like, oh shoot, I'm not making any sales. So we're gonna just use that one. So the thing is, we want one audience per ad set. So being that we already chose the dogs, animals, what we're gonna do is we're gonna copy this, and now we're gonna name our ad set. Our ad set name is going to be the name of the audience that we're getting ready to test. Honestly, when it comes to the placement, you can use the Advantage Plus placement. You can leave it at the Advantage Plus placement, and basically Facebook will find the best place to send your ads to. All right, now we're going to move on to the next page, which is going to be your ad. So remember, we went from campaign. So campaign is the umbrella. Ad set is under the umbrella, which is, this is us, building the audience and the budget and all of that. Now we're going to go to ad. Ad is going to represent the content that you're going to be using for the whole campaign, your ad set and everything. So now this part. Now the ad set, the ad name, this is going to be the content that you're going to use. Now here's what I'll say, guys. I want you guys to have at least 3 to 5 different ads for that specific product. I'm going to repeat it again. You should have, and this basically means in plain terms, have 3 to 5 different content. So 3 to 5 different videos for that specific product that you want to promote. Now, these 3 to 5 different videos can either be 3 to 5 different videos talking about the same product. So maybe it's like a variety of different people that's talking about the product, or even if it's the same person, um, maybe they have different angles, like the marketing angles that they're targeting about the product, or this could be the same exact video. Maybe it's just one single video, but it have 3 to 5 different hooks. Understand what I'm saying? It could be the same video, but it has 3 to 5 different hooks. So basically, maybe the first 3 to 5 seconds of the video starts different for each video, but it's basically the same video. So maybe one video is saying like, hey guys, do you want to hear the secret cream that's been changing my skin, or whatever it is? Or maybe, and then it goes into the video, and then maybe you have a second video which is the same exact video, but this time it start off with the, guys, you won't believe what my mom gave me. I don't know. I'm just creating stuff off the top of my head, but hopefully you understand what I'm trying to say. So what we'll do now is remember, we're going to be doing 3 to 5 videos. So at least that first video that you're going to post up, we're going to name it that, let me see, dog. I'm literally just doing anything. So that's my first video, right? Make sure you put the Facebook page. As soon as you click here, you should be able to find your Facebook page. As soon as you click here, you should find your Instagram page. If you do not find your Instagram page, if it's telling you like, hey, your Instagram page is not connected, all you got to do is come over here to your business settings. As soon as you come here, on the left side of your screen, you'll be able to see where it says Instagram account, and you'll be able to go ahead and add your Instagram account. Once you add your Instagram account, you're going to refresh your page. You're going to go back into your campaign, your ad account. You're going to go back into your ad account so you can be able to locate where you left off at. I don't want you to think that if you leave this section, even though you didn't complete it, it's going to be lost. No, it automatically saves as you go. So if you leave this section, or even if you were to refresh the page, you'll be able to pick up where you left off at. So just make sure that, once you finish setting up your Instagram account, if you didn't set it up, just come over here, refresh the page, and you'll be able to locate your Instagram account again. Next, we're going to leave it at manual upload. We're going to leave it at single image and video. We're going to leave this open, and this is where you can add the video. So once you click here, you're going to click on add video. You're going to select that video, or you're going to upload that video. Now listen to me. Do not choose a video directly inside of your Instagram account or Facebook account. Is like when I say Facebook account, as in like, it's going to give you the option if you want to go ahead and grab a video that you already posted on your Facebook page, or a video that's already posted on your Instagram page. It's better for you to just manually upload it. It's going to have a separate folder inside of here where it's going to keep your video in, where you could be able to use those manual uploaded videos. So go up in here, upload the video that you want to use. And then once you upload it, it's going to show up over here as a preview. And then we're going to be able to start writing what we want. So where it says primary text, this is basically going to be your caption space. This is the place where you're going to try to influence people to purchase. Let me show you an example of where does the primary text usually show up at. Okay, so right now we're in the Facebook ad library, and I just want to show you guys an example of that primary text. Where would it show? So these are some ads that are running on Facebook. I literally just type in dog tag inside of Facebook ad library, and don't forget to use Facebook ad library as a source of guidance for you if you're a person who can't think of like what should I post, or what should I put as my primary text. You can come here, look up maybe a product similar to what you're selling, or even look up the same thing and see what other people are using as an example. So this is where that text would show up on, let's say, for example, if it was running on Facebook, right? People would see your ad like this. Or let's say, for example, if people were to see your ad on Instagram feeds, then it will show up as in caption. When I am doing my primary text, I usually don't really put too much. So let's say, for example, if you were to put maybe just describing what the product is, like I said, use Facebook ad library as an example. I don't want you to think that you need to write a whole essay inside of here. It don't need to be that deep. Let's say if it's the dog tag, I probably put something like call like, this is the best dog tag I ever got from a friend. I don't know, or maybe like, dog tag collectors out there, and then I might end up putting maybe even telling them, hey, lovable product or lovable. I don't know. I can't think of anything off the top of my head. But the best thing that you can do is use the Facebook ad library as an example. And I'll probably see if I can create some type of sheet that can have some examples, some fill in the blanks. But I would still recommend to be creative. Look at the Facebook ad library, like kind of create something off of what you see, or maybe your competitors. At this point, you should have a list of competitors that you're following. See what they're posting, so you can probably do something maybe similar or close to. I know sometimes people would either put a comment in here as if like it's a review, like, oh my god, this is the best dog tag that I ever received ever in life, something, right? Where it says headline, I usually like to put my promo deal in the headline. This usually shows right under the video, like literally on top of the video. It will usually show right under the video or right next to the shop now button. I usually would put like the promo that I'm having. So for example, if you are a person who has 10% off your first purchase, or 15% off your first purchase, or maybe you have deals inside of your store where it's up to 50% off. I'm not gonna lie, up to 50% off your first purchase usually do good for me. And I'll add in like an emoji, right? Like put in a emoji in there. Maybe it's a star, or you could probably put up to 50% off plus fast shipping or secured shipping. And sometimes I'll put the truck in there to represent like shipping. Put something in there that can capture their attention to want to go ahead and click on the video. Remember, this is where you're putting in these texts. This is just another place to influence the person to go ahead and purchase. So, like I said, the headlines, I'm usually putting like the deal of the day or the deal that I have inside of the store at the moment. If you're doing if you're doing free shipping, then put free shipping on your first purchase, right? Or if it's discount, you put the discount, something like that, just to influence the person to purchase. Or it says description. You can either add extra details. It doesn't really matter. Sometimes I'll put like one word in there. Let's say, for example, I'm selling natural products. I'll just put natural and I put like the leaf emoji. But if you want to put like any additional like details in there, you can put it. But people are not really going to see it. That's the only reason why I don't really like emphasize on the description part. This is just if you want to put additional information, but still go ahead, put in something small. Just you don't have to overthink it. Where it says call to action, you can go ahead and put shop now. We're going to look for the shop now button. So we'll put the shop now. Now over here where it says if you want to manually put in the code. So this is for if you are a person who end up having a 10% off discount, right? But they have to use a code. Maybe you have a specific code inside of your store that you created. Maybe it's a 15% discount, whatever it is. You can turn this on so they can highlight your code, and you can go ahead and put the code here. What ends up happening is that when the person clicks on the ad, the code will automatically appear in their checkout. So it makes it even easier for people to go ahead and purchase. So you can put the code inside of here, and Facebook will do what they have to do to make sure that they get the code to the other side. So we just scroll down this section now. Over here, website URL. Guys, pay attention to this, because this is where a lot of newbies mess up at. People spend so much of their time trying to make the homepage look so pretty, and believe it or not, who cares about your homepage? Everybody want to go to the product page where it says website URL. Please put the URL website link that is going to bring the person directly to the product page that we're promoting. We do not care about your homepage. You understand? Like, we do not care about your homepage. Make sure you send them directly to the product page so they can be able to see the product and go ahead and make the decision on moving on to the next step to purchase. The biggest mistake you could do is send that person to your homepage. Because I know in your mind, you're probably thinking like, well, they're not going to see all the other products that I have to offer. Or like, oh, I want them to see the professionalism of my page. All you're going to do is put that customer in a position where they probably end up not really buying, because now they're distracted by other stuff, right? They get overwhelmed with all of the stuff that they see. And then now they're stuck trying to make a decision on if they really want this product or not, or this. You understand? Now you put them in a whole nother rabbit hole of trying to figure out what should they really do. And most of the time they'll end up leaving. So where you thought you was doing a good thing, you actually end up hurting the customer. So we want the customer to focus on one thing. They seen our ad showing one thing. We want them to go click on that link, and it's going to show them that same one thing. They're going to focus on that until they get to the finishing part. So yes, once we put in this, let me see, tracking. All right, we're pretty much done. Once we put all of this in, we're gonna X this out. As you can see, we're in the ad section. So at this point, if you did upload a video, you might see the video here. I didn't upload any video, so that's the only thing. So right now I'm in the ad set area. I'm in the ad set area tab. Make sure you click on the ad set tab. Remember, we're doing 10 ad sets. So what we're going to do is we're going to duplicate this. We're going to duplicate this 9 more times. So come here. Remember, matter of fact, before we even go there, I'm so sorry. Let's go back to the ad tab. We're going to go back to the ad tab. Remember, we want 3 to 5 videos, right? 3 to 5 videos. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and duplicate. We're going to duplicate. Remember, we're in the ads tabs right now. We're going to duplicate this 2 more times if you're planning on doing a total of 3 videos, or 4 more times if you're trying to do, 2 more times if you're trying to do 3 videos, 4 more times if you're trying to do 5, right? So we're going to leave it original campaign. We'll leave it like that and click duplicate. As you can see, these are the ads, right? These are the ads. This one is not highlighted because this is the original one, but we're going to click on one at a time. We're going to click over here. We're going to only highlight one of them. Now, what you'll do with this, the only thing that you will be doing here is literally just going to add media, add video, or it might say change video, because maybe the video, the original video that you duplicated is inside of here. You're gonna go over here, click on change video, and you're going to select that new video that you want to put here. As soon as you put it here, you don't need to worry about it. Most likely your text, your headline, everything is going to still remain the same. All you got to do is move on to the next one. Not only that, what you want to do too, sorry about this, what you also want to do, you're going to go to the ad name, change the ad name to a name that you can know which video is in this section, right? Once we change the video, add dog running, laugh, I'm just making anything up. Then we move on to the next one. You do the same thing. You change the ad name, you change the video. Once you change the video, you move on to the next one. You move on to the next one. You stop here. You do not go over here. This is the ad set campaign. I mean, this is the ad set and this is the campaign. You're only staying in this section right here. So once you finish doing all of that, we're going to X out. We're going to pretend that we got our 5 videos right there. We need to go back to the ad set level. Remember, we need to duplicate this 9 more times to be a total of 10. So we're going to duplicate 9 times. Now, the only thing that we're going to be changing, the only thing that we will be changing with when it comes to our ad sets is going to be the ad set name and the audience. So what we'll do is we only need to highlight one ad set, right? How do I know this is an ad set? Because it has these 4 little dots right here is letting me know that this is an ad set. Do not end up changing one of these ads by mistake. You're only staying over here, right? You see these 4 little dots? That's what you're looking for to let you know that it's an ad set. If it has copy next to it, then you already know that that's what it is. The only reason why you see that these ads have copy next to it is only because, remember, I didn't change the name of the ads when I was adding in the whole new video. So don't let that confuse you. We're only changing the ad set. So this ad, let's say, for example, we're going to go down to where the audience, where we can find the audience, right? Click over here. And we're going to click on where it says detailed targeting. Now, let's say, for example, remember, we're looking for dog-related audiences, right? If you can't think of any audience that might be interested in this, because you might think of an audience and you try to search it, search that audience in here, and Facebook might not have that same exact audience that you're looking for. But if you need some inspiration, click on where it says suggestions, but make sure that your original audience is still there. Click on suggestions, and as you can see, it gives you a list of audiences, right? So most likely, we're definitely looking for somebody who has interest in pets. So we're gonna head and click on pets. But now, do not make the mistake to forget the original ad set, right? So as you can see, pets is the one that is in there. So we're gonna scroll up. We're gonna change this ad set to pets, as you can see, and then we move on. Remember, since this ad set right here doesn't show copy, that only means that this probably was our original one because it's going from bottom to top. So as you can see, this was our original one. So we're going to skip this one, go to where it says copy. Remember, we know it's the ad set tab because it's like this. Remember, we're going to scroll down to audience. Like I said, you can either try to search your own audience. Maybe you have an audience that you want to look for. Maybe you like, okay, maybe somebody who goes to Petco. Let's see if they have Petco. All right. Oh, maybe somebody who goes to Petco, they might be interested in this, right? Remember, as you can see, there's 2 Petcos, but we want the one that says interest. Remember, and then since Petco is there, we go ahead and remove this because we already have an audience like that. And we scroll all the way up. Do that. So you're going to do that for each ad set until all of these is individual audiences that you will be targeting, right? So what you'll be doing now is, as soon as all of this is completely done, what you're going to do is you're going to click on where it says review and publish. Now, if this is your first time running an ad, let's say we click on review and publish. Now, you might see an error. You might see an error show up in yellow. Don't worry about it. Still go ahead and publish. The only time that most likely, usually when you see is like it shows an error like this, is usually letting us know that it would, of course, as soon as you put your mouse over it, will let you know. But usually 9 times out of 10 is going to be because maybe the video that you post, it doesn't fit in a specific area where they're gonna be placing the video. um, as long as you have your video that's uploaded and you already gave them a website that they're gonna go to, you don't need to worry about if there's a warning sign that shows up. Now, if your error is in red, most likely mean that you really messed up bad and you need to figure out what exactly is wrong. But once you everything is highlighted, as you can see, your campaign, ad sets that you created, your 10 ad sets. And remember, because we have 5 videos per ad, that's why and we have 10 ad sets. So each ad set is going to have 5 videos, makes it a total of 50. So we're basically good to go. We're going to go ahead and launch. So now, once we launch our ad, we're literally going to be letting our ad run for 1 to 3 days. 1 to 3 days is going to determine like if our ad is good, right? Now, this is where we're going to be turning things off and moving on to the scaling part. So I'm going to jump into the scaling phase. This is where we basically go through the testing and then we move on to the scaling so you can know what to do next. So hopefully you got some value from this. By this time, you should already know. I know it's a lot of information, but believe it, guys, like go through this material. If you gotta pause it, take notes, just so you could be able to know, okay, like what to do next. If you're confused, you already know. Utilize your community so you can be able to get unstuck if there is any uncertainty. All right, guys, we're moving on to the next video. Okay. So I'm inside of one of my campaigns right now. This is an old campaign that I ran a few months ago, but I'm going to use it as an example, how like what to do and how to look at this moving forward when you're testing. So as you can see, I mean, I already clicked on the campaign. Now we're in the ad set. Remember, remember how I said that we're testing 10 different audiences. So here are 10 audience that I was testing for this specific product that I was running. I believe when it came to the videos, I think I was using 3 different videos that I was testing, and that's I'll get into that part, but I was using 3 different videos, and from there is what kind of made me determine on what to do next. Remember, we're running this for about 2 to 3 days. Now, here is some examples, or here's what you can end up. So yeah, here's what you can use as an example. You can use this video as an example to just have some type of an expectation, not expectation, but like what to do next. So I'll make this statement. Number one, I don't want you to base your results off of mine. Like these results is not typical. That's number one. These results is not typical. I don't want you to maybe day one, you might not even get a sell after spending $100. I'm gonna tell you right now, if you spend $100, remember this is the ABO testing campaign. We're inside the ad section, right? The ad set section. If you spend $100 your first day and you do not make any sales, do not panic. Do not panic. Like, let it run for another day. Let it run for another day. Now, if towards the ending of that day, let's say we get into 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, and you still haven't made any sales on that second day, that second full day, then yeah, it's probably time to turn off that campaign and let's go back to the drawing board. Because at least by day 2, you should start seeing some sales. Now, as you can see, for me, I put in a budget of $15 each on this on each ad set. So each audience, I was spending about $15 each. I launched this campaign on June 22nd. Now, within my first 24 hours, you can, matter of fact, let me restructure this results. Within my first 24 hours, as you could see, I had pretty good results coming in. You know, I only had one ad set that didn't convert within my first 24 hours, right? Now, how do I know if these are good results or not? So here's number one that I'm going to need you guys to do. You're going to need to know what is your break even point. What do I mean by that? How much would you have to spend on ads where you're not in a negative before or when you do find a customer, when Facebook find a customer? What do I mean by that? Let's say, for example, if you're selling a product, right? Maybe you're selling a product for, maybe you're selling a product for, I'm just going to make up something. Let's say, for example, you're selling a product for $20. You're selling a product for $20 and you're actually getting the product for $5, right? If you're selling the product for $5, if you're getting the product for $5 and you're selling it for $20, that means you looking at about a $15 when it comes to profit margin, right? So now that means that in order for you to remain in profit, if you're running ads now, you need to spend less than $15 to find a customer. Now, this is where the cost per result will matter for you. So now that means, I'm just going to use these as an example. So that means if Facebook found me 5 customers, and for those 5 customers, it was $2.72 each for each customer that purchased my $20 product. That means, minus the $2.74 from $15, I would still be in profit, right? Same thing for, the $6.99, $13.98. But now if that means if it's costing me $15 to find a customer, that means I didn't lose money and I didn't make money. You understand? So that's my break even. Now, in order for you to know what is your break even, because when I'm talking about break even, I'm more so relating it to my ROAS. So ROAS stands for return on ad spend. I'm going to have all of the information down below so you could know more about these metrics that you have to follow. But that's what you really need to know. What is your break even ROAS, so you can know for sure that you're in profit. So real quick. So I'm on this website right here. I'm going to put the link down below. This is so you can be able to figure out what exactly is your ROAS. So let's say, for example, like I said before, I'm going to use a different example. Let's say, for example, we're selling a product for $35, right? We're selling the product for $35. And let's say, for example, it costs us $6 for this product, right? But then maybe you're a person who are telling people shipping is included, or even if you're not telling people shipping is included. Let's say, for example, if you're averagely paying about another $6 to ship out this product, right? So that means you're going to be looking at $12 when it costs the product cost. Remember, it already costs $6 for the product, and then we're going to be spending an additional $6 for shipping. So let's say $12, right? So at this point, it's letting me know that my break even ROAS is 1.52, right? 1.52. So that means this right here will let me know if I'm in the profit or not. So that means anything below 1.52, I know that I'm bleeding, right? So going back to the ads, right? Going back to the ads, let's use that 1.52 as an example. If 1.52 is my break even, I'm clearly doing really good over here. You understand? Like, if anything, I'm almost doubling my money, tripling my money, quadrupling my money. This ROAS is insane. 19.75. It's letting me know that I'm doing really good. So remember, this is day one. I didn't get any sales, but day one is not going to determine if I'm going to turn anything off or not. So let's see how we did on day two, right? So day two, as you can see, day two, some of them I didn't get sales. There's some of them that I got sales and some of them I didn't get sales. Matter of fact, let's go back to day one real quick. Let's go back to day one real quick. And I want to highlight the one that didn't make any sales. So we're going to go to day two, which is the 23rd. Still no sales, right? Remember, this was the only one that didn't make sales, but these three made sales before. But for some reason, there's no sales for this day. Does this mean that these audiences are not good yet? We don't know. This is just one bad day. So far, this one is on 2 bad days, right? But the rest of them is doing pretty okay. We're still in profit. We're still in profit with these, right? Now we're gonna go on. By this time, I'm not gonna lie to you, it's either I already turned this one off where I'm like, okay, I just spent $30 on this one. We're done, right? This is when I could end up turning this one off. Now, on day 2 or day 3, this is where we analyze our data to see, okay, which one are we going to start scaling? Because we can literally start scaling. So I'm going to combine day 1 and day 2 together, right? Like, these are still good. Even though I only got 2 sales from some of these are still good. Let's say, for example, if I didn't have these that did 9 sales, 7 sales, I'm not gonna lie to you. Like I said, guys, these results is not typical. Where you see 9 sales, 7 sales, these are not typical. Sometimes you might have just 2 to 4 sales, but these just show that, okay, the video was really good. The video was really good. But let's say, for example, if you only had like 2, 3 sales, you'll pay attention to the one that has the best ROAS. Now, the cost per result or the cost per conversion, you'll hear some people say cost per conversion, but the cost per purchase for some of them might not really determine if it's good or not. For example, like even though for example, let's look at this right here. Let me see. Hold up. There's an example there's a point that I was trying to make, but actually it's not going to make sense. But okay, yeah, the cost, what I usually pay attention more to is just the ROAS, as I was saying. As long as I'm in profit, I'm good. Sometimes, yes, if you want to pay attention to your cost per purchase, it's another indicator for you to know, okay, if we're in profit as well. So, of course, I'm not saying that don't pay attention to this. Still pay attention to your cost per purchase. It can determine if you're going to turn off an ad or not. But being that I'm in profit, if I see that if my cost per purchase, as you can see, is way higher than this, right? But does this automatically mean that I'm going to turn this off? No, I'm not going to turn this off, right? I'm not going to turn it off because I'm still in profit. You know, I don't want you guys to get confused because I know I was using the $20 product and we're profiting 15 as an example. That was just an example. This specific product right here that I was selling, I believe that we were selling this product for $45 and we were getting it for about $6. Yeah, $6, spending about $5 on shipping, if I'm not mistaken. So we're definitely still in profit. Like we're still really, really in profit. I can't remember the exact numbers, but we were really in profit. We was doing really good. And as you can see, overall, it's showing us how much per purchase. But I'm really just paying attention to the ad sets. But at this point, on day 2, I can go ahead and pick an ad set that I want to start scaling. So of course, the one that have the most sales, the one that has the best results, 9 sales, $3.37 per purchase, and it's 14.59 ROAS. I'm gonna go ahead and run it up. Like, look at this, guys. I basically spent $30 to make $442. So how do we go ahead and scale this? Now, the next thing that we got to do before we go ahead and try to scale this, the next thing that we got to do is we got to come over here to the ad set. We're going to click on the ad set that we're going to scale. Click on the ad set. Hold up, we're going to remove this one to not be confused. We're going to click on the ad set that we want to scale, and then we want to look to see which video converted for us. Okay, so I just clicked on the ad set level. I don't know why it's not showing the other videos. Maybe I did something differently on this campaign. But just to give you an understanding, let's say, for example, if I had 5 videos here, right? Or 3 videos. And as you can see, it shows us the cost per purchase, the website purchase, how many people purchased, and the ROAS. Now, let's say, for example, if it was 3 videos here or 5 videos here, it would show us how many sales came from each video. Now, let's say, for example, out of the 3 videos that I had here, this is the only video that made all the sales. If this is the only video that made all the sales, I'm going to go ahead and also highlight this video, right? So remember, I already highlighted my ad set. I'm going to highlight that video, and then I'm going to come here and click on duplicate. We're going to click over here where it says keep current setup page real quick. Okay, so this is what you should see next right here. What we're going to do is we're going to come over here and we're going to duplicate this ad set. No, first of all, we're going to click on where it says new campaign. Click on new campaign. We're going to turn this off. And we're going to duplicate this campaign, this ad set 3 times into a new campaign. This time, we're going to call this a CBO. So I'm going to put the name of the audience. I'm going to put today's date. And then I'm going to put CBO. Now, CBO stands for Campaign Budget Optimization. So the difference is you see in an ABO, the Ad Set Budget Optimization, we're able to put how much we want to spend for each ad set. We can optimize we can optimize each ad set individually. Now with a CBO, the only thing that we can optimize is the campaign itself, the full campaign. How much money are we going to spend on the full campaign? That's the only thing that we can adjust. Even if that CBO has 15 ad sets, if we put that we're going to spend $100 on the whole campaign, then it will split the money up within those 15 ad sets to equate to the $100 that we're going to spend on the total thing. So we're going to click over here. Now here's another sidebar. going back to me mentioning the videos, the ads videos. Let's say, for example, if out of the, remember, we got 9 cells, right? Now, let's say, for example, if from the 3 videos that you posted, each video received 3 cells. So that means 3, 6, 9. That means a total of 9 cells. If you're in a position where it's like, well, Chris, the 9 cells were evenly split amongst the 3 videos, then what you're gonna do is you're gonna select those 3 videos along with your ad set, and you're gonna duplicate them together to move on to the scaling phase. If you got, let's say for example, if you got a video that got 3 cells, and then you got another video that got 2 cells, and a video that only got one cell. Like I'm trying to let me see. I'm thinking I'm kind of like thinking it up. But let's say if you only got one of them that only got 1 cell, or maybe one of them got 5 cells, the other one got 3 cells, and one video only got 1 cell, then you're only gonna move on with the one that got 5 cells and 3 cells, or you can just move on with the one that got 5 cells, if that makes sense. I hope I'm not losing you. So we're gonna come over here and click on duplicate. So remember, this is for a brand new campaign. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna come over here to the campaign tab. This is the campaign tab. We're gonna click here, and then we're gonna scroll down, and we're gonna click over here where it says Advantage Campaign Budget. This is where you turn on what we call the CBO, right? Before, it was actually called Campaign Budget Optimization, but Facebook changed it to Advantage Campaign Budget. So as of right now, you may hear other marketing experts or people within the e-commerce space that might still refer to this as a CBO. So this is where we want to put how much we're spending for the whole campaign. Anytime I'm entering the scaling phase, I always start my CBO at $100. Always at $100. So we're gonna start it at $100. We go to make sure that's on the right way. Move on to the ad set part. What we want to do is make sure that it's going to be launched. Since it's 2 p.m. right now, we're going to set it up to be launched for 12 a.m. for tomorrow. And once we have that set up, we go ahead, exit out, and just launch the campaign. Now, this is where we begin the scaling phase for that specific audience that we see that's doing good. Now, just because we're scaling this specific audience, does that mean that we're going to neglect the other audiences that's inside of our ABO campaign? No. We're going to still monitor that campaign so we can determine which audience is the next to go ahead and start scaling. This is what I'm going to tell you guys right now. You want to scale, you want to create a maximum of 2 CBOs per day. Now, the question is, do you have to create 2 CBOs per day? No. But I'm just saying, if you're a person just like, well, Chris, all of them is doing good. You want to create 2 CBOs in total per day. And remember that you will be scaling every day as you go. So please keep in mind of your budget, because even though you're going to be scaling every day, it doesn't mean that every day you're always going to be adding money as you go, because your ad might end up hitting an area where it can't perform as good as before. Now, here's some stuff to keep in note. Number one, it is very normal if you begin to see that your ROAS or your cost per purchase if your cost per purchase begins to rise up, or if your ROAS begins to dip down, that is completely normal. The more money you spend, that is what's going to happen, right? But the name of the game is to try to remain as profitable as possible. Number one, our goal is not to break even. We don't want to reach the break even part. We want to be able to be as profitable as possible, right? I want to say if you're profiting anywhere between 20 to 30% in total, if your store is profiting anywhere between 20 to 30%, you're doing good. If you're doing 30% and up, you're doing really, really good. Don't think, well, Chris, like before ads, I was profiting 70%, and now running with ads is 30%. You're doing really, really good. That is like the industry like gold right there. 30% is really good. Like I said, anywhere between 20 to 30% is really good. If you get a little bit below 20%, don't lose your mind. Like I know people who are okay with just receiving 15% profit off of their stuff, off of their business. Now, the only thing, just keep in mind, like, okay, if my store is profiting 15% and I want to be able to make $1,000 in profit per day, at that point, you have the math to understand, okay, how much money do I need to spend per day so I can be able to reach this goal while still maintaining my ROAS, my cost per purchase, and so on. Of course, just because we have ads that's working, just because we have content that's working for us, now, does this mean that we can go ahead and just stop looking for, stop creating content? No. I'm going to tell you right now, you are officially a content creator or a content recruiter, or your business will always continuously need content for you to keep on testing. There's going to reach a time where your ads start performing really trash. And it's not because the ads is messed up, it's because people that video, that picture, or whatever it is being shown to people so many times that it's been burnt out. This is why that you see big companies like Coca-Cola, Sprite, or Downy, whatever it is. This is why you always see them coming out with new commercials every couple of months, because they understand that it comes a certain time where this video is not going to be as effective as it was before. So we need to continuously keep on changing videos, right? And then you might create a new video that ends up influencing people more than the video before. Now, this is why you're going to need to really do your research and looking at your competitors and stuff, because sometimes you might just create a new video and then your sales just boom right back up. You understand? You might create a new video and the audience that was working for you before is no longer working for that video. Maybe it might be a new audience that's working for that video. You understand? I want you guys to understand that, just because the video is working for you right now doesn't mean that it's going to work for you forever. Always be in a place of trying to find as much content as possible. This is good just for a start, but of course, you're going to just continuously always need content as you go on. Now, when it comes to the CBOs, now let's say, for example, you're launching the CBO and day one, you're profitable. Or maybe day one, you're not profitable. Maybe it's below your ROAS. Do not get scared. Guys, I cannot stress this enough. Your business is not going to be in profit every day. I can guarantee you any company that's out there, it's not every single day that they're going to be in profit. There's days where you might not get the sales that you're looking for. That is completely normal. It is completely normal for you to end up, get a lot of sales today and tomorrow, no sales. Well, not completely no sales, but maybe just a few sales. Maybe enough sales to put you in profit, or maybe you're in the red for the day. That is completely normal. Don't get scared where it's like, oh my God, I got to turn off the ads, right? Now, from my experience and the experiences of, the people within my network that's in the e-commerce space, Mondays and Tuesdays is usually the days where, for some reason, Facebook ads just perform trash and we're getting the worst data. When I first started off in the e-commerce space, when I started to experience that, I thought there was something wrong with the ads. I'm like, oh my God, did somebody do something? And meanwhile, everybody else was experiencing the same thing. Remember that there's really something called bad days. Your business is not always going to be performing at a high level all the time. So do not get scared if you had an ad that was doing good for the past 4 or 5 days and then today just like is dead. Just don't worry. Just let it run. Let it continue running. You understand? Like give it a day or two, or maybe even 3. Like let it run before. And I'm talking about mainly for the testing. Not the testing phase, but the scaling phase. You'll know if you reach a point where it's too much when you start scaling. Now, let's say for example, if your CBO is doing really good today, or maybe the next day ends up doing really good, is at a good ROAS, it's like at 3.5, or is that like it's you're doubling, you're tripling your money for the day on that ROAS. If it is, then I would strongly recommend to either, there's 2 options. You can increase your budget by 50%, or you can increase it by 100%. What does that mean? If it did really good today, I got a high ROAS of like 3.5, 3, or maybe 9, right? It's basically like double or triple my break even. Then I'm going to go ahead and increase it to 100%. So that means I go from spending $100 a day to spending $200 a day. Now remember, your ROAS dipping down is normal. Let's say, for example, I doubled it to 200, and then when I doubled it to 200, my ROAS go from 3.5 to 2.9. I'm still good. I'm still good. Do not panic. I'm still good. At that point, you could go ahead and double it up again or increase it by 50%. It's all good to you. You'll know what is the ROAS that you're comfortable with. Remember, some people want to see that 40% return. Some people want to see that 30%. Some people is like, okay, I'm okay with at least getting 15%. You'll be able to start knowing your math from there. Like, okay, what is the percentage if I have 3.5 ROAS or 2.5 or 2? You understand? So I want you guys to keep that in mind. Now, let's say, for example, you get to a point where you're probably spending $1,000 a day on a CBO, and maybe on that CBO that you're spending $1,000 a day, maybe your ROAS is at like 2.0 or 1.7. Remember, these numbers that I'm throwing out there is just generally speaking. You should know what's your break even so you can know what's comfortable. If it gets too close to your break even, then clearly at that point, it might mean that you need to start scaling down so you could be at a healthier spot, because sometimes you can spend so much money on a campaign or a CBO campaign that it really puts the campaign to a point where it's not performing as best as it can, because you're spending more money than usual, or more money that it can handle, so it can really get you the customers that you're looking to get. So don't be afraid to at least start decreasing your budget by about 30%. About 30%, start decreasing your budget. Let that run for a day or 2. If you see a change, if you like how it looks, go ahead. Or if you feel like, oh my God, it's still where it's at, decrease it for another day or 2, and then start making small increases if it's performing good again. I'm trying to make sure I didn't leave anything in this section. I'm going back to the ABO. As time go, you might still have some some audiences that's still converting really good for you, you can still start scaling those as well. You can start scaling those as well. And the audiences that's not performing, go ahead and turn them off. Now, if it gets to a point where your CBO that you're scaling is not performing really good for you, then just go ahead and turn it off and move on to the next thing. You understand? Remember, it doesn't mean that we're completely stop testing audiences or stop testing content. It's still going to be the same thing. It's going to be rinse and repeat as you go. So hopefully this video is not too confusing. And yeah, let's move on to the next video. Listen, I hope you got some value from this course. Like I said before, what I really want from you guys is follow me on, subscribe to the channel, follow me on Instagram. I want to hear from you. What is your results? Like, what is your aha moments? What is something that you was lost on and you felt like, yo, I can do it now, or maybe you're completely new to this and you're like, Chris, I want to learn more from you. Like I said, we do different things. We offer different things. So what I want you to do is check out my description area below this video so you can see all the stuff that we do, we have to offer. So if you want to take things a little bit much further in your learning experience, or maybe you want to take your business to the next level, the goal is, number one, I want you to see results. I want you to try this so you can see that this thing works for you. And then from there, if you want to take things even higher, we could go ahead and do that. I do these challenges every month. So I have to say this. I do this challenge where me and my partner, we spend 5 days with people virtually. We spend 5 days with you virtually, where we literally show you step by step on how to build a profitable 7-figure brand. Listen to me. We do this once a month, where every day we jump on a Zoom call. It's a group of us, small group of us, and we get on there and we literally are showing you step by step. If you want to be able to be part of that as well, check out the description area so you can be able to join us when we do these 5-day challenges. It's almost like a boot camp. The whole goal is, like I said before, we want to cause impact. How many 6-7-figure business owners can we create? So if you like what you've seen, don't keep it to yourself. Share it with your friends and family. And yeah, let's go from there. Peace.